of afternoon here at Baton Rouge. The kind when the food and the hype meets the game time anticipation. The kind of late afternoon when you see that eye and you know what's coming. The kind of late afternoon when the Tiger bait chant starts up and the sun starts to go down. And when that happens, you know exactly what you're going to hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Saturday night in Death Valley. And here come your Fighting Tigers of LSU.
Welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. This is Avocados from Mexico Tailgate Week, the annual Battle of Tigers. Auburn just took number 1 to the limit. Now they come here to face this amazing offense of number 22 LSU. And here come the Tigers. After back-to-back road battles, down to the wire, racking up yard after yard. Now they return home. As we return to one of our favorite booths in all of America, Joe Tessitore and Jesse Palmer with you. And folks, in this college football playoff era, can we remember that there's still a lot on the line even if you have 2 losses? LSU's playing to get to the SEC championship game here.
They've got 1 conference loss. They win her tonight against Auburn. They beat Bama in a couple of weeks. Ole Miss loses 1 more conference game, and LSU is back in the driver's seat in the SEC West. But no mistake about it, Joe, they're in this position they are today because of the play of their quarterback, Jayden Daniels, one of the best in the country. I think the best dual threat quarterback LSU has ever had. He can hurt you in a variety of ways. He has been so accurate throwing the football. Malik Neighbors here in the slot. Look at the location of this throw. There is simply no defense for that. But Mike Denbrock, the offensive coordinator, has also been dialing up a lot of designed runs. You get the center out, the running back out, and here's a 6'4" quarterback who's stunning. He's explosive. Look at him running away from DBs. And then finally, second year in the system, playing with more confidence, has better chemistry with his receivers. Look at the anticipation. Gets rid of this throw before Malik Neighbors even turns his head. 398 total yards per game for that guy right there, second best in the country. Midway point of the season, Joe, he is right in the middle of the Heisman debate.
Let's bring Katie George into the conversation. Katie, last year we covered him a lot, and Daniels was great. This year, he's elite. He's exceptional. Why?
Well, Brian Kelly says it's because Jayden Daniels became obsessed in the offseason with his film study and the improvements needed to run one of the best offenses in the country. Think back to a year ago when these 2 teams met. Daniels threw for just 80 yards. Now he's averaging more than 300 passing yards per game. Daniels says he returned this season because he knew he could take his game and this offense to another level. Brian Kelly said we laid out a plan, he attacked it, and now he's playing as good as anyone in the country, Tess.
Katie, he's up against an Auburn defense that is salty and successful. They gave Georgia a big scare. Now they're trying to get after LSU. Auburn LSU when we come back.
ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts, is brought to you by Target. When you can get all the fall flavors for less, that's totally Target. And Subaru. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru.
We have a special guest today on ESPN College Game Day, the Geico Gecko.
Look, just get to the part when you tell everyone how easy it is to insure what's important to them. Home, car, even RV. Come on, there's an RV right there. Did he even see the talking points I gave him?
I don't believe so, sir.
For all your insurance needs from home to car to RV, it's easy to Geico.
Desmond?
I forgot the talking points.
Settle in for a fun night as you're watching the SEC on ESPN. Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer, Katie George with you here in Death Valley, Tiger Stadium. Always a scene. Auburn won the toss. They elected to defer. Caleb Jackson let it go into the end zone. Well, Jayden Daniels, you know all the statistical superlatives, but Jesse, how tough is this guy? Well, and how willing is he to sacrifice his body?
Well, he gained 15 pounds in the offseason, so he's a lot more confident when he's out running it. But, Joe, he's got to do a better job protecting himself and taking care of himself. He's taken some kill shots, as you can see. Suffered a bit of a rib injury in that game last week against Missouri, so you wonder just how willing is this LSU coaching staff to allow him to go on designed runs. You want to take care of him. He's got to take care of himself too.
Empty set to open up the game. Daniels completes his first pass, and it goes to the talented Mason Taylor.
Mike Denbrock says he pleads with Daniels on the headset. Please fall down, just run out of bounds. It's 1 yard, it's not worth it. We've got more plays. Denbrock calls him the rubber band man, guys, because he just absorbs hit after hit.
There is the veteran offensive coordinator, Mike Denbrock. As they're going to keep it with Diggs, and here goes Logan Diggs. And look at him turning around Zion Puckett, the safety for Auburn, as Logan Diggs continues his way.
Garrett Dowlinger, the big left guard at 325 pounds. He gets a lot of movement and push this way, which gives a crease for Diggs. He's so good and patient when running between the tackles, and then he has that burst to get in the second level.
35 yards for Diggs, the transfer from Notre Dame, who's been the workhorse in recent weeks. And this time just about 2.5 yards. Last week he had 24 carries against Mizzou for 134 yards and a touchdown.
This is a good start for LSU on offense, Joe. Something we haven't seen in the last 3 games. Arkansas, Ole Miss, Missouri. The offense has kind of sputtered a little bit early in games. Here already, a couple big plays, and they're gathering some rhythm, trying to establish some momentum for Brian Kelly and this LSU squad early.
Second year for BK here as the head coach. Of course, last year 9 wins and took the SEC West. 2nd and 8. Daniels pulls it. He quickly gets it to Neighbors, and Malik Neighbors is off to the races. Touchdown, Tigers! You can't start better than that. 29 yards. Daniels to Neighbors. Malik Neighbors has been sensational this season. Jayden Daniels continues with his style of ball. Quick strike, effective, this time right from the start.
And this is one of the bread and butter schemes that LSU and Mike Denbrock have. It's basically modern day triple option football. It can go there, quarterback can keep it. You get Mason Taylor blocking, and in the flat is Malik Neighbors. The football can be in 3 different places at once. Modern day triple option, they run this scheme over and over all throughout the season. They can run it in their sleep, and there's that fast start this LSU offense was looking for. Going to their go-to receiver, Malik Neighbors.
Just last week he had 146 yards in that thriller against Mizzou, and the go-ahead late touchdown this week. He picks up where he left off. 2 plays over 20 yards, right? Diggs had the 35-yard run, and then Neighbors able to turn the corner with that speed.
A lot of nice balance on that play. Good physical play up front by the offensive line, but getting key guys in the offense's touches early. Really nice job play calling there by the offensive coordinator, Mike Denbrock.
Think about some of the comments Hugh Freeze made this week about Jayden Daniels. Opposing coach saying, I don't think you can stop him. He's too good. Proved that right away, and they do not want a track meet at all. Jesse, the struggles have come in the passing game. Peyton Thorne is the starting quarterback. He's the transfer from Michigan State.
Yeah, it's been a bit of an up and down season for him early. The good news is no one thought he'd be athletic as he was. He's made a lot of plays with his legs for this offense, but Joe, you just referenced it. He just has never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. They've had issues at the wide receiver position, at times issues with protection. They're statistically the worst passing offense in the SEC, and you get the feeling to win this game, they're going to need to throw some strikes against an LSU secondary that's really struggled.
But they are well equipped in the run game, and Jarquez Hunter is your tailback flanking Thorne as pre-snap flag comes in.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That's the team captain, Cam Stutz, who's the starting right guard.
At LSU at nighttime, Joe, crowd noise in Tiger Stadium, it is absolutely deafening.
Of course, you're speaking from some experience back here in 1997.
We're bringing up some good memories. I appreciate that. We're what?
Florida was #1 in the country.
Dude, we're 2.5 minutes into the game.
Thorne pulls it, gets it out quickly, and does so successfully to Burton. Caleb Burton, the transfer from Ohio State.
I think LSU defensively feels like if they stop the run, they win this game. They're going to try to control everything up front and force Peyton Thorne and these receivers to beat them throwing it downfield.
The big Savion Jones, Greg Penn in the middle of that front seven. 2nd and 8. Thorne with time, incomplete. It was thrown to the outside of Luke Deal.
And that was a critical 3rd down early. And as soon as you go to 3rd down when you're playing against LSU's defense, you got to be able to locate and isolate number 4, Harold Perkins. Where is he going to be lining up on these 3rd down plays? He's a guy that they like to move to defensive end from the slot. And right now, he's lined up over the right tackle, Xavion Miller, right here. Auburn has to have a plan in pass pro in 3rd and long situations against one of the more dynamic pass rushers in college football.
So much movement on the right side of that offensive line as they were setting for 3rd and 8.
Timeout, Auburn.
Hugh Freeze was able to call that timeout prior to 3rd and 8. And we will take that break and see what the Tigers can do. Auburn facing a 3rd and 8 when we come back.
We're in legendary Death Valley in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Matt Berry back in our college football studio with our All-State Good Hands play. It took 2 plays, 33 seconds and 53 yards for Rome Odunze and Washington to grab the lead back. Oregon's got the ball with 17 seconds left.
And it's a thriller, Matt. Here we are just underway with a 7-zip LSU lead. 3rd down and 8 for Auburn. Oh, and that was mishandled. Hunter trying to jump on it, and he does at the 15.
Didn't look like Peyton Thorne was even ready for the snap. Avery Jones sent it back there. Jarquez Hunter, he was the one that actually tried to catch it. It hit him in the face, ricocheted.
Thorne had his head turned.
Yeah, it was lucky because Braden Swinson, the Oregon transfer, was right there to scoop that thing up. Look at this, goes off his face. He just hops on it, really gets tackled onto the football. That could not have been a worse looking first drive for the Auburn Tigers.
Already had 3 moments where the crowd noise has played a role. Oscar Chapman now punting from inside the 5. Clayton will have a chance at the return here. Takes a big bounce for Auburn. Fields it, scoops it, going the wrong direction, and makes this out of it. Nearly back to midfield for Greg Clayton. It's a 52-yard punt from Chapman. Luke Deal came up with the tackle for Clayton. And a flag is down at the 39.
Here the kick, holding, return team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. First down.
But that first drive for LSU, it only took them 4 plays to go 75 yards in just over a minute and a half.
Yeah, I mean, they were playing at a good tempo, too. Made sure they got in the right looks and really sort of set a nice rhythm there, running and throwing the ball and getting key guys some touches early. And after that penalty, I mean, they were backed up. They had an opportunity there to start this drive here at midfield. But Jayden Daniels, the quarterback, and now they got a lot more work ahead of him.
Clayton had a 16-yard punt return when he scooped it up going in the opposite direction and turned the corner, but now after the penalty, they'll bring that ball back to the 22-yard line. The officials are going to take time out, make sure they're administering this correctly. Kyle Olson heads up this crew for the SEC. Brian Kelly has a bit of an exchange and concern on the sideline.
How you doing? Great to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome to Tiger Stadium. Have a pull boy.
Logan Diggs straight ahead. Logan Diggs just getting a piece of him that time was Kaufman.
Well, you mentioned it, Joe. Logan Diggs is the feature back now. This was a running back by committee approach last year. They were looking for a guy to be a game breaker. And since the Arkansas game, Logan Diggs has been that guy. His burst and his explosiveness has given this offense the ability to create explosive runs, not just by Jayden Daniels. It's made them more dangerous just handing it off traditionally. Right now, Logan Diggs second in the SEC in rushing yards per game.
This went for 8 yards. Daniels gets it out quickly. That'll be a first down as he goes to Brian Thomas. They are without Chris Colton, the wide receiver, who's dealing with an ankle. But with Neighbors and Thomas, you got more than enough.
You got the best duo and receiver in the SEC easily. And I mean, right now you've got two guys, elite guys, that are going to play on Sunday with size and speed. And Joe, they can line them up outside, inside. They're always trying to find a favorable matchup. And trust you know, Jayden Daniels pre-snap. He's looking to see who's covering them. Because if he has a shot to take one downfield with those guys, he'll take it.
Daniels, this is where he's so dangerous, where it's effortless. All of a sudden you blink, and he's downfield for a chunk play.
You got to have great pass rush lane integrity when you're playing Jayden Daniels, and Auburn just lost it there. He goes inside, he comes outside, and that's just too easy for Jayden Daniels. He feels that. That's the sixth sense. He's not even trying to get through a progression. As soon as he sees green grass and you're playing man coverage, you got your backs turned to him, number 5 is out.
He's just gliding, and it goes for 26 yards.
Loaded.
That's Anderson in motion. On first down, they'll keep it with Diggs. Diggs very patient, and it works well as he muscles his way just inside the 35-yard line.
Well, it's a very physical Auburn defense, Joe, and they want to fight you in a phone booth, right? If you want to run the ball between the tackles against this defense, then you're basically in their element. There's an injury now.
That's Emory Jones.
Down, yeah,
starting right
tackle, who's been playing exceptionally well for LSU offensively this first half of the season.
Well, remember last year he was a true freshman who stepped in week 3 and was the starter all the way down that stretch to the SEC championship game. Very athletic, very talented. The starting right tackle is being looked at by the medical staff. So we'll take a break as they check out Emory Jones, and we will be back to Death Valley.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. 18 hotel brands, 1 loyalty program. Download the app. And in part by Cintas. Prepare your team for what's ahead. Get Cintas and get ready for the workday.
How good is the tailgating down here at LSU? This is yesterday. That's how early they get started for a football weekend. Moments ago, we just saw Emory Jones, very talented 6'6" right tackle, go down, Jesse.
Yeah, it looked like he kind of got bent up a little bit. It was a true freshman. It was Kendrick Fogg kind of falling on his back leg, so he's off to the tent. Now taking his place is a true freshman, Lance Hurd, very highly recruited. He's got a big task ahead of him right now.
He's number 53. He has gotten playing time this year, and the coaches are very high on him as they push that pile ahead with Logan Diggs for a first down. They're averaging 15 yards per rush prior to that run.
I think that right side now with the injury, obviously we don't know the extent of Emory Jones' injury, but you want to kind of keep an eye there because oftentimes Lance Hurd, the true freshman, will be lined up against Jalen McLeod, the best pass rusher for Auburn, number 35 on the right side there.
You see McLeod, see what he can do against the true freshman. Daniels. He has to throw it away. Wesley Steiner, who is coming in off the edge against Daniels.
And that time, Lance Hurd, the true freshman, at tackle, he's a bit slow picking up the blitz. They're going to bring this from the outside. He's going to hang in here, try to get out, pop outside wide to pick this up. He's just a little bit slow, and that's the experience that he lacks that Emory Jones has.
Daniels on second down. Has time over the middle and complete to Neighbors, and Neighbors has it down to about the 13-yard line for LSU.
And what a great job by Jayden Daniels with his progression. He got to his fourth receiver. Watch his eyes. He's looking right, 1, 2, not there, middle of the field, doesn't like it, and then he finds the window on the dig route to Neighbors. It just shows you how comfortable he is now in his second year in Mike Denbrock's offense. A year ago, he might have taken off and run. Now, though, he's giving plays an opportunity to open up before him in the passing game.
Daniels trying to turn the corner. And it goes out at the 9-yard line.
This is a big moment here for Auburn's defense. I know it's still early, but you get the feeling if they're going to win, they got to give up field goals and not touchdowns. So this is actually something they've been great at this season. The best red zone defense in the SEC. They're only allowing opponents to score on 69% of their red zone possessions, but right here they need to step up. They cannot let this thing get to 14-0 early.
And that has to do with what's on the other side of the Auburn team, the challenges they have passing the ball. Ron Roberts, the defensive coordinator, see if his team can find a stop. 2nd and 6. Play clock counting down. And they're going to use a timeout because of that. And with that, an opportunity for us to check in with Matt Berry in the studio. Matt?
All right, Joe Tess, it's gone to final in Washington. Camden Lewis to tie the game, no good from 43 yards out. And Washington remains unbeaten, 36-33.
Absolute thriller in Seattle. Your quick reaction.
First off, Matt Berry would call that a college kicker situation, but you kind of had a feeling in that game it would come down to which quarterback had it last. But with Washington getting the win, obviously huge for them in their Pac-12 championship and national championship hunt, but also the Heisman Trophy hunt for Michael Penix, who put up big numbers again. 300
yards and 4 touchdowns for Michael Penix. And the former Auburn quarterback Bo Nix went for 337 and 2 touchdowns in that game. Washington won it as Oregon missed the field goal late. 2nd and 6 off the timeout. Diggs only about 1.5 yards. As Diggs was met on the inside by Justin Rogers, who previously played at Kentucky.
Well, now if you're Auburn defensively, you got to pick a receiver to try to double. You got Malik Neighbors in the slot or outside. You got Kyron Lacey in the slot, also a 6'2", 3-wide receiver, and Brian Thomas, 6'4", to the right-hand side. Where are you going to divert your attention? Because all 3 of these guys are viable options.
6'5" Mason Taylor, the tight end, right off of the right tackle, the new right tackle, Lance Hurd, the true freshman, on 3rd down and 4. And whistles blow as the flag comes in, pre-snap penalty.
Prior to the snap, not all 11 players were set. That's a false start. 5-yard penalty. Offense. 3rd down.
This is a good break for Auburn right here, getting LSU backed up. We talked about, again, the importance of only allowing a field goal try. Those, of course, aren't automatic in college football, as we just saw in the Oregon-Washington game. But a big moment right here.
10th play of this drive. First 3rd down LSU has faced. Running back Logan Diggs is lined up in the slot, and now he motions back in for Jayden Daniels. 4-man rush to the end zone, and that is thrown a bit behind Malik Neighbors.
Wow, you don't see Jayden Daniels miss throws like that. He had him kind of running that post, trying to split the safety. He got through the double team. That's the guy that Auburn decided to try to double. It was Neighbors in the slot. It was the right choice. But Jayden Daniels just puts this out a little bit more in front. He did a great job looking the front side safety off. I think Malik Neighbors would tell you, even though that was thrown a little bit behind, that's still a catch he thinks he should make.
So instead, Damian Ramos will come on, the sophomore from Baltimore. Had a game winner a few weeks back against Arkansas. 7-9 on the season. This just from 30. As he's able to put it through. And the 11-play drive ends with 3. 10-zip LSU. Student sections across the country are competing to be the Taco Bell With Moss Student Section of the Year. You can download that Taco Bell app to learn more. Always a great scene here in Baton Rouge. Always great meals when you come to town, too. How about Mansour's on the Boulevard last night? Just crushing grilled oysters.
Yeah, like 2 rounds of those, and the barbecue shrimp, and the redfish cedar planked with the crab meat on top. 0 calories. My LDL is through the roof.
And that's after Perron's on Thursday night where we took down more of them. From the end zone, Batty, as he makes it out to the 22-yard line. Katie, what can you tell us about Emory Jones?
Yeah, Tess, after spending some time in the medical tent on the sideline, he came out without a cleat and sock on his left foot. He received hugs from coaches and teammates, and then he crunched his way to the LSU locker room. He had his helmet on, which I think is good news, but I'll certainly keep you updated on his availability as we move forward.
Okay, so that's the latest on the starting right tackle for LSU. Now, what's the reality we're dealing with Auburn, Jesse? Because you made the comment, hey, defense got to keep this thing to 10, not 2 touchdowns. The passing game.
That's it.
What are the answers?
It's a one-dimensional offense right now. They can run it, they just can't throw.
They swing it around to Jay Fair off an orbit motion, and Harold Perkins tracks him down and rips him down.
I love Perkins lining up at the slot because of this. In modern-day college football, when you want to throw swing routes and bubble screens and tunnel screens, you cannot block Perkins with a receiver. He's too quick and athletic for a tight end. He essentially eliminates those plays from your playbook. They have found a home for him, and I believe out in the slot is the right place for him to be.
Shed off Tyler Fromm and tracked down Fair. And now they get it to Hunter on 2nd and 12. Well, we brought up the passing issues of Auburn, how one-dimensional they are.
And it's not just one thing, Joe. You see 6 straight games with less than 100 passing yards versus Power 5 opponents. It's amazing that they beat Cal earlier this year. Philip Montgomery, the offensive coordinator, is trying to find answers and get this thing kickstarted.
They're down to 9. Pressure against Thorne. Gets rid of it into double coverage. And it should have been intercepted by Andre Sand. Philip Montgomery is almost as if to say, what are we doing?
He's trying to hit Corey Moore, the LSU transfer in the slot on a fade route, vertically down the field, right in between 2 LSU defenders. And this is one, Andre Sand. He's got to make that play. It's essentially like fielding a punt. You see Hugh Freeze, a guy that's used to having success throwing the ball vertically down the field anywhere he's been, having a word with his quarterback, who you do have to remember, Joe, is only playing his 6th game tonight in this new system and scheme.
Chapman on to punt. 2nd 3 and out for Auburn. Greg Clayton had a good return before, but a penalty brought it back. A whole lot of traffic as he was trying to field that ball with a fair catch, but he was able to secure it. Hey, next Saturday, number 13 Ole Miss takes on these Auburn Tigers. That'll be at Jordan Hare, 7 o'clock, prime time on ESPN. Of course, Ole Miss was able to outlast LSU 55-49 at the end of September. Jesse, that game, Ole Miss LSU, those teams combined for over 1,300 yards and 14 touchdowns in that game.
Ole Miss ran for 317 yards in that game against this LSU defense. They finally got Quinshon Judkins going in the running game. Jackson Dart did his part too. That'll be a fun one next week, Jordan Hare.
John Emery into the game at running back. And Emery is brought down by McAllister.
So Auburn is really a bend-don't-break defense. They don't blitz a lot. They try to play big zone coverages, keep the ball in front. They try to get you to march the ball down the field. But in a game like this, Joe, against Jayden Daniels and these receivers and how explosive they are, you just wonder if Ron Roberts, the D coordinator for Auburn, at some point is going to start rolling the dice a little bit more and dialing up some blitzes. See if he can force the ball out of Daniels' hand and get them out of rhythm.
Neighbors in motion on 2nd and 6. Emery in the backfield and the finger pointing on the right side of that line. Remember the right side of that line now with the true freshman at right tackle.
False start. Offense, number 53. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
And that is Lance Hurd, the true freshman who replaced Emory Jones after we just got the report from Katie as to Jones's medical update.
And listen, he's a very talented guy. He was the 3rd-ranked offensive tackle prospect in the ESPN 300 coming out this year. He's got a massive future here at LSU, but right now he's on a big stage. He's going up against some big-time players from Auburn on this defensive line, and right now, I mean, his head has got to be spinning.
2nd and 11. Daniels out of the backfield is Emory. Wide open is John Emory. One man to beat. A stiff arm ride down to the 17-yard line. Pritchett was the last man, but Emory snuck out and got busy.
And what a job of misdirection in the play call. You're taking your center, you're pulling him this way, you get the jet going this way, all the defense starts working that way, and now you get the wheel down the sidelines by John Emory. He had a big game last year against Auburn, had an incredible 20-yard run, also caught a 40-yard wheel route just like that one.
Diggs taking it down to the 10-yard line. That was a 49-yard reception by John Emory, and that is now, Jesse, the 4th LSU play over 20 yards out of 16 plays to that.
Well, they've just got so many playmakers all over the field. Take a look. Well, that's the story of the game right now. 206 yards for LSU. What was that, -3 for Auburn?
-3.
But it just goes to show the talent right now in both offenses is not equal. LSU just has bigger and better players at the skill positions.
As Hugh Freeze himself said, the most talented offense in the entire SEC. Emory is going to be a yard short of that line to gain on what was 2nd and 3. You saw Jalen McLeod's helmet come off at the end of that play.
We'll probably have to come out for a play here, which will give some respite to Lance Hurd playing over at right tackle. Auburn prides themselves on stopping the run in between the tackles. I was mentioning that earlier. This is what they want you to do. They want to be physical and shut that down, and they're going to have a big challenge here against an LSU offense. Joe, I think is pretty confident running it, especially after what they did to Missouri last week.
Already over 100 yards rushing. 3rd and 1. Emory straight ahead, and that pile will carry him inside the 2-yard line. It will be 1st and goal.
I mean, you don't see a lot of offenses that have this many big running backs. They can just ride in, right? It's Logan Diggs, it's John Emory, it's Josh Williams, it's Caleb Jackson. All these guys are 220, 225 pounds, and they just try to wear you down.
Emory tries to spin over defender. Ball came out at the end, but the whistle was blown. And let's see how they mark this.
It was a really nice job by Larry Nixon, the middle linebacker. They're fighting through the traffic and getting a tackle.
You see the linesman coming over to discuss it as Emory was rolling over a defender trying to reach out towards that goal line. They're ruling on the field that the ball carrier was down prior to the goal line.
I don't know. It looked like his elbow might have touched right here as he's kind of working his way, but you see the right elbow does not. He's laying on top of a body.
What hits the ground would be the question.
Exactly.
Something other than the bottom of his shoes has to hit the ground. So this play should be under review, and now it is officially under review. You can be laying across anything you want as long as nothing's touching the ground. Does anything touch the ground, Jesse?
It looked like the elbow might have, but it didn't. We just saw it. He was able to arch his body as the ball over top of the defender in the end zone. The problem is from that angle there, you can't see where the football is in relation to the goal line before it gets popped out. And from that angle there, Joe, I don't see anything touching the ground.
Now, there is the free hand on the other side. So the hand without the ball, as he spins around, we should also take a look at. See that left arm as it spins across? Does the left arm touch the ground before he then takes the right arm and reaches over the goal line?
Is the left hand allowed to touch the ground? You have to be a forearm or an elbow, right?
Yeah, it has to be, obviously, the palm of the hand, but we don't know.
I don't even know. Honestly, looking from that angle, Joe, I'm not even sure if his left hand actually touched the ground.
No, and he can roll across that body all day long and reach across the goal line and score a touchdown. But remember, the ruling on the field is that he was down.
You need indisputable video evidence to overturn that call. another thing with these angles too is it's hard to know where the ball is in relation to the goal line.
Now this is in sync. The image you have on the left is what you saw in the game camera, and that's the opposite reverse camera, so you can see the free hand. And then Malik Neighbors comes into the frame right at that moment.
I don't think you have enough in these replays to overturn the call, Joe. If there's anything conclusive that tells you that nothing else touched or the football crossed the goal line.
Remember, ruling on the field is that he's short of the line to gain. So do you have video evidence which would reverse that call, meaning that there's indisputable video evidence proving that the call on the field, that he's short of the goal line, was wrong? And if they say he rolled over that body and nothing hit, it should be a touchdown. Let's hear it. Does John Emery have a touchdown?
After video review, the ball broke the plane to the goal line before the player lost possession. It is a touchdown.
Well, that reaction tells you all you need to know. They're loving it. And John Emery, after a 49-yard reception, caps that drive with a 2-yard touchdown run of doing a great job of keeping his balance.
Yeah, and we talk about all the skill players and the talent they have. John Emery was the #1 rated running back coming out of high school in 2019. Fifth-year senior. He's waited his turn. He loves playing the Auburn Tigers.
Now listen, this has been an LSU team that has given up a lot of points in recent weeks. But this is an Auburn team opposite them that now has the worst case scenario. Down a big hole.
Going back and taking a look at this touchdown again by John Emery. Simple run play up the middle of the field. It was called down initially. By reviewing it again, right elbow doesn't touch, right knee doesn't touch. I don't think his left arm touched either. I couldn't see anything that said there was indisputed evidence that football crossed the line, but that's the call. It's 17-0, and it's been a lot of big plays, explosive plays early for this LSU offense. Logan Diggs getting it done up the middle, running between the tackles. They've had really good balance. This was one of their bread and butter zone reads with an attachment to Malik Neighbors in the flat. That capped off the first drive of the game. Get out of your lanes. Jayden Daniels has been doing this to defenses for 5 years now at Arizona State and LSU. That was the big wheel route that really set up that last touchdown. Great play call and design by offensive coordinator Mike Denver.
Everywhere you look, there's talent on the LSU offense. And now you got this Auburn offense, Jesse, that is second to last in the SEC in total offense and dead last in passing offense, down 17.
And part of it is Peyton Thorne missing throws. A big part of it is this receiver group not getting open, not making contested catches. At times, pass pro hasn't been great either, but Joe, when you can't generate explosive plays in the passing game, it hurts you on third down, it hurts you in the red zone. It's just hard to win. But that's the reality right now. Auburn has to be able to run the football to have any shot.
Quick strike on the slant, and that is successful for a first down to Camden Brown.
That's a great read by Peyton Thorne in an RPO. That time you saw the safety, Major Burns, screaming down. So he pulls the football, gets the ball out, nice accurate throw to Brown. And that's Auburn's first down of the game.
15-yard reception by Brown. And they go with the slants again, and it's another first down to Brown. So back-to-back.
I love coordinators that'll go back to something if it works. Nice job by Philip Montgomery there. There's this attitude in the NFL on Sundays. You run something once, it works. You better not try it again, because everybody will be ready. I love that attitude. Hey, stop us. Back-to-back plays there with the RPO slant.
Hunter, as he drives those legs ahead to the LSU 45-yard line.
He's
right pen with the tackle.
He's a physical runner, isn't he, Joe?
Yeah.
5'10", 210, 15 pounds. Man, can just push the pile. He gets a lot of hidden yards. This guy loves and feels very comfortable in between the tackles. Good vision, great pad level. Very physical running.
Thorne, 2nd and 7, tried to go with an in-cutting route again. Flat comes in, as Shane Hooks was the intended target, but Zy Alexander got there a bit early.
He did. That was the same RPO slant they had thrown twice earlier in the drive. This time they go the other way. I think that was the correct call at the PI.
Pass interference, defense, number 24. Ball replacing the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Joe, as much as Auburn has struggled throwing the football this year, LSU has struggled defending the pass.
Yes, they have.
Whether it's been busts, whether it's been guys missing tackles, or guys just getting beat in the back end. We'll talk about this in the game. This is DBU. You can go down the list of all the names of guys that have gone on to have success in the NFL. That has not been the story this year.
First down, Thorne going to tuck and run, and with that, he's going to get inside the 20-yard line, and another first down for Auburn.
I'm telling you, man, he's more athletic than you think he is. Through 26 starts at Michigan State, this guy had 270 career rushing yards. He was hurt a little bit last year. He used to hand off to Kenneth Walker, and they never let him run designed runs. This year, though, they're letting him do that, and they're giving him the freedom and flexibility to take off when things aren't open. Coming into this game, Joe, he was only 4 yards away from being the leading rusher on his offense. It's been a huge surprise.
He had a 61-yarder against Georgia. To the end zone, and that was thrown to the outside of Hooks. Alexander was there with coverage. Remember, Alexander just had the PI moments ago.
But I like the idea here of Auburn coming out and at least trying to push the ball downfield a little bite, take some shots, give a 6'4" receiver like Hooks an opportunity to high point a throw. You know, they've been a little conservative because of their struggles, but I think one thing Hugh Freeze really wants to do is open it up and get a bit more aggressive.
Robbie Ashford in as quarterback. This is not uncommon for Auburn. Last year, he had a big game against LSU. 2nd and 10. And whistle comes in as Jeremiah Cobb, the true freshman running back, was carrying the ball straight ahead. The flag came down right before the snap.
Delay game defense for clapping on defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Simulating the snap.
You see a lot of defenses do that now. They're trying to simulate the clap that quarterbacks do and try to get offensive linemen or receivers to jump. Brian Kelly's, you got to be upset now. We've seen a lot of penalties early in this game from LSU. You see out there on the left side, that's Andre Sam, the safety. He's clapping, trying to get the attention of his corner. I don't think he was actually trying to simulate the snap, or he was just trying to communicate with his teammate.
Ashford, the quarterback, on 2nd and 5. We go with Cobb again, and Cobb stacked up after a gain of just 2 yards. So Ashford, the quarterback, in for Peyton Thorne as they are in the red zone as we come to the end of this first quarter. Auburn desperate to get on the board. The LSU offense, as advertised, up 17-zip at home at the end of one. Don't go anywhere.
Coach Freeze, what do you need to see from your offense to finish this drive with a touchdown?
Yeah, very tough start. You know, we're fighting on this drive. We got some good stuff, I think. We need to finish this drive. We got to convert this 3rd down and get it in the end zone and wake our defense up a little bit.
Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you.
Hugh Freeze notes they do need to finish this drive. They didn't have any first downs on their first 2 drives. They have 4 on this drive alone, but facing a 3rd and 3 with Robbie Ashford in as the quarterback. 3rd down and 3 for Auburn. He pulls it, and he gets it. First down as he goes to Frazier. It's 1st and goal, Auburn.
Yeah, that's a similar concept to what LSU scored on the first drive with Malik Neighbors. A little bit of his zone read and getting a target outside to Frazier. An easy throw there, Robbie Ashford.
Peyton Thorne comes back in on 1st and goal. Ashford had success converting the 3rd down. Jarquez Hunter, talented running back in the Wildcat. Direct snap. Hunter probing and diving ahead. Touchdown, Auburn. So they split out Thorne. Hunter takes the direct snap, and now they're separating Tiger v. Tiger. But boy, oh boy, did Auburn need that.
They needed it big to try to get some momentum. And look at the feet here by Hunter. He does a great job because Mason Smith gets penetration, and he's able to just kind of bounce around him really quickly. Nice job with the vision and the feet. And Hugh Freeze is right what he was telling you. telling Katie earlier, that was a score Auburn needed badly. Really nice looking drive there for the offense.
Good job by Hunter to get low right at the end under Greg Penn. A talented linebacker was coming in, and Hunter just went low for that goal line and got it. Very well managed drive. 8 plays, 75 yards. They were down 17 zip, and they did it in just under 3 minutes. As McPherson on for the extra point, and he puts it through.
And that wasn't an easy run. I know it was only a couple of yards by Hunter, but again, there was penetration up front. It was Big Mason Smith on Xavier Hunter. He crashes right here. He's got to kind of dip around him before running in. It's good patience there in the Wildcat. There's the penetration. You see just the little shuffle by the feet. He's been really impressive throughout his career. Remember, he used to share carries with Tank Bigsby in this offense. Those two guys were like battery rams. And there's Robbie Ashford. He's all fired up.
You know, it's interesting, Robbie Ashford coming in, Jesse, because last year he had the big game against LSU. Passed for 337 yards, had a couple of touchdowns, but there were a couple key moments with the LSU defense that ended up winning that game. There was an interception, there was a strip sack, and that's what won the game for LSU, not the offense.
No, Robbie Ashford was a nightmare in that game for this defense because of his athleticism. Remember how good he was off schedule in that game, scrambling around, finding big throws. I know he's a guy that struggled a little bit with his accuracy at times last season, including only 49% of his passes, but he really was dynamic in that one. And I like the package of plays they have for him on offense. Keep defenses guessing.
Let's get a studio update from Matt.
All right, guys, AT&T 5D studio update. After a Caleb Williams interception, Notre Dame strikes first. Sam Hartman to Jabran Payne. And right now, Irish on top, 7-0.
Crew had that game. Jesse, I know you were on assignment in Europe.
I was on assignment for ABC. I was.
But what is your quick reaction to what's been going on with
here's
Notre Dame?
the thing. Notre Dame is easily the best team USC has played. And that's a defense right now, Notre Dame, only allowing opposing quarterbacks to complete 50% of their throws. They are tough to throw against, even if you're the Heisman Trophy winner. Important assignments, by the way.
I can imagine. Jayden Daniels cannot escape Asante. Eugene Asante, who has been so active, able to get the sack on Jayden Daniels.
Well, Auburn blitz, they only rushed 4, and LSU slid the total different direction that the blitz is coming from. This is going to be this guy coming out here, and nobody's there to pick him up. You see Auburn on the left side, they drop out the end. We talk about them being bend, don't break. They don't love to blitz. Even when they do, it's only with 4 guys. So they can keep a lot of people in coverage. It's a nice job there by Ron Roberts mixing up his looks.
Tap pass to Caleb Jackson. Jackson able to keep his balance out past the 30-yard line as he had DJ James coming up to try to undercut.
He's an impressive prospect too, Joe. Caleb Jackson, only a true freshman, 225 pounds. We were on the field earlier. That dude's got massive legs.
He does.
Not Saquon Barkley, but they're huge. I mean, this is a guy that you can take a guy like that and line him up outside and give him jet sweeps, push passes. It's a fun toy to have in your offense.
He was a superstar nearby at Liberty Magnet High School, and now getting playing time as a true freshman for the Tigers. 3rd down and 2.
Big blitz look here on 3rd down. A lot of guys standing up trying to confuse this LSU offensive line.
Daniels with time, good protection, and with that he connects to Lacey. Kyron Lacey past midfield, 1st down LSU.
How about the pass pro by LSU right there? You saw the blitz look, some guys dropped out, but they just built a beautiful wall for Jayden Daniels here to progress. Low left, not there, gets to his 3rd progression on the in route, and another accurate throw.
Jackson remains the running back, and they will check down to him. Caleb Jackson. Oh, and he just runs him over. That was Eugene Asante who came up to meet the freshman, and Caleb Jackson said, no thank you.
Yeah, and that's not a scout team DB he just ran over on. Asante's the leading tackler on Auburn. He's a big linebacker himself, 225 pounds, but this is the guy we were just talking about. I mean, you're making a statement by lowering your shoulder. That was Leonard Fournette-esque.
Daniels on the run. Daniels Able to bounce to the outside. That's exactly what we were talking about. How he's gliding, and all of a sudden you look up, it's 9-10 yards.
Yeah, and it's what makes him so special too, and it's such a unique skill set to have, whether it's scrambles or whether it's design runs. And we talked about, that rib injury he suffered last week against Missouri. Doesn't seem like for Mike Denbrock, Brian Kelly, and his coaching staff, that's changing their approach in this game plan. They're still going to use his abilities to the best of their advantage, and right now that's throwing and running per usual.
Well, Denbrock out there in the booth as he's in the midst of calling his 5-play drive.
On the field is a first down.
And take a look at this spot. You mentioned the running game of Jayden Daniels, and last week against Mizzou, he got banged up on a touchdown run, and I mean really took a shot to the ribs. Stayed in the game and dominated. He finished with 139 yards rushing.
Against the defense going into that one that was leading the SEC and run defense. And that's the difference in this offense this year. Last year it was all Jayden Daniels running.
Right.
But now you've got Logan Diggs. You've got other guys you can bring on the field and share the wealth a little bit. Keeps defenses on their heels.
Is indeed a first down. And incomplete. Couldn't connect with Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, really nice job there playing downhill by Jaylen Simpson. He is an alpha in the secondary for Auburn. Absolute ball hawk. 4 picks on the year, tied for first in the country. Not a lot of free safeties have the range and coverage ability that Jaylen Simpson does. We saw that against Denian Smith at Texas A&M. He was able to cover Brock Bowers for Georgia. Who can do that? This guy can. That was a nice play there.
And he's not playing at 100%. He's been dealing with a bad ankle all week long. Pressure on 2nd and 10, but Daniels lost it to the end zone, and it's incomplete as Neighbors was trying to track that ball. Donovan Kaufman had coverage.
There's an all-out blitz. We were asking earlier, would Ron Roberts roll the dice and try to come after Jayden Daniels? That time he did. There was nobody back deep. This, and this all coming in. So Daniels has to get rid of it quickly. He has thrown a bunch of touchdowns on that route to that guy at that exact same spot of the field. That time one-on-one with Donovan Kaufman falls incomplete. But a nice job mixing up his call for the D coordinator, Ron Roberts.
3rd and 10. Daniels to the outside, and that is right at the line to gain as he goes to the redshirt freshman, Aaron Anderson. It looks like the mark is going to be about a half-yard short.
Nice job by the man transfer there, working on his route here in the slot. Cuts, gets out wide, ball thrown right out in front. I don't know if he had to fall down. If he just caught that and kept going, that would have been an easy first.
This is 4th down. LSU 4th down and 1. And you see the flag and the whistle come in before that snap to Daniels.
Like it was the right guard. Miles Frazier jumping a little bit early.
False start. The entire offensive line. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
All right. That's lazy reffing right there, honestly. Just call out a number. You can't just call out 5 dudes all at once. That's going to drive Brian Kelly absolutely crazy.
All the pre-snap penalties will always do that.
It's like I was looking here at the right guard, but sure, you want to call all 5 guys, I guess you can do that.
That's the 6th penalty tonight for LSU. The only thing that's been shaky, 40 yards in penalties. Damian Ramos is on for his 2nd attempt of the night. This from 35. He made from 30 earlier. Bramlett's the holder. Roy's the snapper. And Ramos, a little bit of an X ball there, but it goes through, and with that, it pushes the lead to 20-7 LSU. Has a receiving touchdown. And Ray Davis, well-traveled, started his career playing at a little Trinity Pauling boarding school up in New England. I was watching him 15 years
Then he went to Temple, right? Then went to Vandy.
That's right.
Now he's
so well-traveled,
terrorizing defenses in the SEC.
Katie?
Yeah, Tess, after Auburn's touchdown, Peyton Thorne went and sat in the receivers' huddle on the sidelines. He told me this week there's been a disconnect between he and his receivers in past games. So that was a focal point during the bye week. Route running, timing, just getting on the same page. There was a lot of back and forth communication during practice and clearly here tonight. Bottom line, Hugh Freeze says Thorne has to trust his receivers will be in the right spots at the right time, and then his receivers need to execute. They got to catch the football.
Which is critical, and it's why we've seen some say, if you watch this offense lately, there's a lot of hesitation in the passing game. Batty. Yes, he gets a good push ahead out to the 31.
Well, it's a good point by Katie, and I think, Joe, he doesn't have the chemistry, he doesn't have the trust with these receivers. One, because this is only their 6th game playing together, and he's playing in a new system. But two, he also doesn't have the talent he had at Michigan State. Peyton Thorne put up big numbers at Sparty, but he was also throwing to guys like Jayden Reed, Jalen Naylor, Keon Coleman, who's lighting up college football at Florida State right now. Ask LSU about him. He doesn't have those same dudes right now in this Auburn offense, and because of that, he's not playing with as much conviction or confidence.
2nd and 4. Brian Batty goes ahead for a first down. Yet Keon Coleman, who week 1 had 9 catches for 122 yards and 3 touchdowns against LSU.
And he literally had guys across the board, just like Jayden Daniels does right now. Right? It's so much easier to play the quarterback position when you believe you've got 3 or 4 guys that are going to win one-on-one route battles each and every play. That's just not the environment that Peyton Thorne is playing in right now.
Keep it on the ground. Batty again, as he's out past the 40-yard line. So the running game, they feel like they can always lean on, Jesse.
And I like Batty as a change of pace back opposite Jarquez Hunter. Batty only 5'7", 170 pounds, but the USF transfer is shifty. He likes to bounce the ball to the outside, use his speed. A lot of people don't know. He had over 1,100 rushing yards last year for the Bulls down in Tampa. And he's been a big weapon for Auburn running the ball this year.
Leading rusher when they played the game at A&M, had 3 catches against number 1 Georgia. 2nd and 6. Thorne pulls it this time, goes downfield, tried to back shoulder it, but could not connect.
And that's
trying to get it to his tight end Fairweather.
Joe, that's the problem. Contested catches. Peyton Thorne giving his guy an opportunity on a fade route. Saw the matchup to Rivaldo Fairweather at 6'4", 241. See that right there? Little fade sign now. I'm just going to throw it up and give you a shot. That's a catch that I think Fairweather has to make, and that's happened time and time again throughout the course of the year. Just haven't been able to make the tough plays vertically down the field that is setting up 3rd and longs like this.
Third and 6 with a man right in his face. Saw Gofu able to come into the backfield.
Go back and watch Hugh Freeze. This is after the drop by Fairweather there. Just kind of says it all of what the first half of the season has been, especially in the passing game. That is not the kind of offense that Hugh Freeze is accustomed to, whether he was at Arkansas State, whether he was at Ole Miss, whether he was at Liberty.
Oscar Chapman on for his 3rd punt. Able to hold on to that ball, let the coverage team get downfield and then send it down to Clayton, who's driven all the way back inside the 10. Oh, that was a golden opportunity for the coverage unit. And as you saw the reaction from the snapper, Reed Hughes said, oh, we had a chance inside the 5. But it goes for a touchback on a beautiful night in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
You're the guac guy.
They're good for you. They taste great, and you can tell a lot about somebody by how they guac. It's all about building a better bowl. People, how do you guac? What's your?
I love a good avocado now.
No, I mean, like, do you put anything else on?
Oh, I go hardcore spicy.
I'm spicy too.
Yeah, I'm
big jalapenos, lots of seeds.
You're the avocado guy now.
I'm the guac avocado guy. Avocados from Mexico guy. Build a better bowl, Joe.
I've seen it all.
Yep.
My man's traveling to Europe. He's hanging with Gary the Golden Bachelor. He's crushing oysters.
Consuming good fats.
And now he's also the avocado guy. Logan Diggs taken down by Justin Rogers.
How about Justin Rogers? 6'3", 350 pounds. We talk about those big bodies inside for Auburn. They do not move, and they invite you to try to run that thing inside. They can shuffle guys in, keep them fresh. And that really is the strength, I think, of this Auburn defense.
Daniels on 2nd and 10. Steps up in the pocket. Daniels tucks. He is slithery. And look at how he's able to push the pile. Remember, Mike Denbrock, the offensive coordinator, you see him there, he says it's okay to go down. You don't have to take on every defender.
Yeah, I mean, that play, Auburn showing blitz. They drop guys out. Guys get out of their rush lane. So, again, Jayden Daniels takes off. It's amazing how he kind of throws his body around in the middle of the field where all the big bodies exist.
And then Logan Diggs with a stiff arm and stays up against the incoming traffic of Nehemiah Pritchett after Daniels went for 13 yards.
Yeah, it looked to me like Logan Diggs won that one, too. Dropping the shoulder. It's just another physical element. We talked about kind of what he's been giving this offense with his explosive runs. And he's coming off a career day against Missouri last week. And this offense for LSU, they just continue to fire on all cylinders.
4 yards for Diggs. Daniels on 2nd and 6. Only a 3-man rush as they're spying Jayden Daniels. Now Asante has to come after him. Lofts it downfield, and that ball deflected by Pritchett right in front of Malik Neighbors.
That was a great job because Pritchett had to cover for a very long time against one of the best wide receivers in the entire country. I think one of the biggest wins for Hugh Freeze this offseason was getting Nehemiah Pritchett and DJ James to return. A lot of guys thought they were going to go to the NFL. Both guys were invited to play in the Senior Bowl in the offseason. Look at Pritchett just doing a great job mirroring, disengages with his hands, locates the football, and knocks it away. Beautiful job.
3rd and 6. Chance for Auburn to come up with a stop. Remember, an offense that's been quite limited. They've needed to lean on their defense and manage things with the running game, and they will have an opportunity to get that LSU offense off the field when we return. Timeout, LSU.
I'm going to get us some guac.
Please.
You're watching a presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ESPN. A new era of the SEC begins in 2024 on ESPN and ABC.
It is ESPN College Football Primetime presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. And this is Avocados from Mexico Tailgate Week. 20-7 LSU on top in this series that has had so many dynamic moments through the years. What will tonight offer up? 3rd down and 6.
Big blitz look here from Auburn. They've been mixing their looks up. This is a big down. They've allowed scores on every LSU drive so far.
Daniels looks right, has to come back left, over the middle, complete. Oh no, the ball came out there as Lacey could not secure it. He never had firm control of that ball.
Kate Lee, the true freshman at corner, did a nice job breaking on that and breaking it up. Lacey's had a problem with drops throughout the course of the year. That time Daniels doing a great job getting it to him.
Well, that's close.
That's close.
That is close.
But I'll tell you, Lee doing a nice job there, kind of ripping the left arm, dislodging the football. That's the first time Auburn's defense has gotten a stop here in this game.
And with that, the first punt with Jay Bramlett. So Coy Moore, the former LSU Tiger, back to return as he puts his heels on the 25-yard line. And Bramlett bombs away. A fair catch at the 20. So a good stop by the Auburn defense. Tomorrow on Sunday NFL Countdown, just before the 49ers face the Browns, we'll look at how George Kittle is motivated by letters from his dad. And where do the Patriots go from here? That is 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN.
Have you ever seen the Patriots look as bad as they have the last 2 games? Just blowout losses to Dallas and the Saints. Just not used to seeing Bill Belichick teams look like.
I always marvel at this scene. Take that big wide shot. It says, "Welcome to Death Valley." There is nothing quite like it in American sports. It's Saturday night at Tiger Stadium for a little SEC battle. Plenty of time, and with it a strike downfield, but great coverage downfield by Zy Alexander on Nick Mardner.
Nice job turning around, locating it, and then knocking it away. We've seen Auburn be aggressive in the passing game. They've taken some shots that time. The Southeast Louisiana transfer, a cornerback, great job, turn around, locate the ball, 2 hands up. For a secondary that's really struggled, and it really has been an up and down season for Zy Alexander this year. He had a really rough game against Missouri the last time out, making a big play on the fake.
Battie tackled for a loss. He is brought down by Paris Shand, a well-traveled player originally from Toronto.
And he just comes screaming off the edge to the right side of this offensive line. They're pulling guys, and no one accounted for big number 94. And now sets up third down here in Death Valley, one of the loudest venues in all of college football.
They're pointing at the right guard.
I think it was the center. He just flinched a little bit, Avery Jones.
Let's see.
False start. Offense, number 66.
It was.
5-yard penalty. Third down.
Jay, the noise here is a problem. Trust me, I've been here. I played here at nighttime, and it's very hard to even hear yourself think. You get down on your own end, back close to the student section here right behind them, where all these LSU fans are. It's not easy. These offensive line, we saw it in the very first drive of the game. They're having a hard time hearing Peyton Thorne.
Thorne has to come up right against his offensive line. They're talking to each other just to communicate the protection. 3rd and 16. Thorne got to get to the 30-yard line, and he does. He steps out. A flag is down all the way back at the 13. They may walk this back.
Holding. Offense, number 52. After this is the goal, remains third down.
That's Dylan Wade, their left tackle. This is unfortunate because he's been their best offensive lineman all year. He's working against Braden Swinson, who's really a third down specialist. And you just see a little hold when he didn't have to.
He didn't have to.
Just didn't have to do it. Peyton Thorne went and did the work, got the first down with his legs. That is just a backbreaker for Auburn.
Thorne was already past him.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Let him go.
3rd and 23 after that penalty. And with that, the conservative call to Hunter. So it goes from what would have been a first down thanks to the run from Peyton Thorne to brought back with the penalty, and now they'll be punting in a compromised position. It's the 3rd 3 and out for Auburn, and their 4th punt coming up from the leg of Oscar Chapman. Chapman from his own end zone as he skies this. Not much distance on this punt, but it does take a bounce out to midfield. You keep mentioning the experience, Jesse, the first-hand experience of playing here at LSU. Florida was number 1 back in 19.
Yeah, listen, we had beaten Peyton Manning in Tennessee earlier in the year. We had things rolling. We came in here, number 1 team in the country. Coach Spurrier put me in the game late in the 4th quarter, and this was the first time I really felt what a hostile environment was in the SEC. LSU ended up winning the game. They rushed the field. That's me without any hair products. And then the funny thing is, after the game, Joe, the fans found our buses and they rocked our buses and wouldn't let us leave the stadium. It was unbelievable.
You hear that story a few times, their opponents coming in here and the intimidation factor. Florida had a streak of 62 games with at least 1 touchdown pass that was snapped that night back in 1997. Jayden Daniels quickly gets it out. I got to go back to the cut there, the look there. You said she without any product. This is Jesse back in 97.
Well, a true freshman year, so there's initiation, obviously, so I did have to endure the shit. I want you to notice the slope of the forehead and also how low the hairline is there. It's orangutan-esque.
Brian Thomas, as he pushes ahead for a first down against DJ James.
After that bad punt now, LSU has an opportunity to add insult to injury here. If they can get a touchdown, they're going to try to bleed the clock as much as possible. Of course, Auburn's going to get the ball back first in the second half, but it's going to be a little bit of a punctuation point, a statement here for LSU if they can capitalize and score a touchdown.
Peyton Thorne trying to talk things over, find an answer offensively for Auburn. Meanwhile, Jayden Daniels back out there with the offense. They quickly get it out to Anderson. Anderson, it'll shuffle his way to the 34-yard line. 3 minutes to go in this first half. Daniels trying to find an option. That ball's in the air, and it is intercepted by James. This Auburn defense comes up big just before halftime. DJ James with the ball, batted in the air, pulls it in.
One of the best things Auburn does on defense in the secondary is they drive in breaking routes. Jalen Simpson, who we talked about earlier, who has 4 picks on the year, did a phenomenal job breaking on this. He's the top of the screen. He's hunting up outside and neighbors. You see how he just puts his foot in the ground? He's gotten a couple picks on throws like that early this year. It gets popped up in the air and intercepted by DJ James. Auburn has been awesome at taking the ball away this year. That's now their 11th takeaway on the season, and that could not have come at a bigger time.
And that's why Jalen Simpson is a difference maker, and they know it. And they needed him out on the field tonight. They didn't know if he could go. He was out there in warm-ups. We visited with him. He said, I'm going. Hunter stacked up right at the line by Jordan Jefferson.
Jordan Jefferson is a backup D tackle that could start on most defenses around the country. He's a transfer from West Virginia, and they've got Mekhi Wingo and Big Mason Smith, but 99 comes on the field, and there's not a lot of drop-off in level of play.
Robbie Ashford back in at quarterback. A year ago that he went for 337 yards and a couple touchdowns against LSU. Gophers got him in the sights. Ashford trying to get to that edge, and he makes the most of it out past the 25-yard line. It'll be 3rd down from there. Omar Spates with the tackle.
Well, here's the problem, Joe. When you can't throw the ball, when you're in 2-minute situations like this, it's hard to go out and execute and generate points, right? If there's critical down and distances, 3rd down, red zone, and 2-minute, it's really kind of hindered this offense. When Ashford's in the game, this offense becomes a lot more predictable, and LSU right now is keying on QB run.
3rd and 3. Ashford was the starting quarterback for 9 games a year ago. Pulls it. Good decision by Ashford. End to the outside and out of bounds with a 1st down. Auburn has 2 timeouts remaining and 90 seconds to work with for Coach Freeze.
Ashford's impressive, man. At 6'3", 220 pounds. He's a better runner than Peyton Thorne. He's just a little bit more dynamic. That was a great decision on the zone read to keep that, also get out of bounds, and preserve the clock.
As Peyton Thorne looks on, and Robbie Ashford tries to move this offense before halftime. They swing it to Cobb. Jeremiah Cobb. They love to get him involved tonight in the receiving game, they said, in the true freshman with the balls. He goes ahead, tackled by Andre Sam.
Their kicker, Alex McPherson, he's got a cannon for a leg. Hit a 53-yarder against Texas A&M. So I think if you're Auburn here, you're thinking probably got to get the ball to about the 38-yard line of LSU to have a good opportunity for a field goal.
That was also before halftime, that 53-yarder. Jet motion, as this is Cobb. Cobb will take it to the 49-yard line. Under a minute to play before we get you to Matt, Joey, and Dan.
Big substitution. Peyton Thorne coming back on the field, which tells you that they're going to be throwing the football now. So LSU given an opportunity to get some fresh bodies, including their best D lineman, Mekhi Wingo, number 18, lined up in the middle.
Hugh Freeze is saying go. He's looking up at that clock saying, hey, we're at 43 seconds. Don't waste time. Thorne. That was too high for Shane Hooks.
Covered there by Sage Ryan, a guy that kind of started the season, number 15, in the nickel. Had some problems. They moved him outside the corner against Missouri. Joe, he was really solid in that game last week, and a guy that I think this coaching staff really trusts in the back end. Really nice job in coverage there in this 2-minute situation.
They've used him in multiple spots. Listen, there's a lack of depth when it comes to this defensive backfield for LSU. There's Alex McPherson. Jesse referenced the fact he had a 53-yarder against A&M. That was just before halftime. Will he get an opportunity here? Thorne on 2nd down. Batted down right in his face, and that was Paris Shand.
Great awareness. LSU's only rushing 3 guys that time, and Paris Shand was basically double-teamed by the right tackle and right guard Stutz. He's over here. Just understands he can't get to the quarterback. Just great timing, getting the left paw up and knocking that football down.
You can't get there, get the hands up, and that's what Shand did. 3rd and 10.
Got Harold Perkins lined up in the slot against the bunch formation. They don't have him at the defensive end position where they normally would in this kind of situation.
See him right there at the 50-yard line. Thorne taken down. Flag is down as Mekhi Wingo wrapped up Peyton Thorne. But we will check on the flag. Remember, that was 3rd and 10.
It's going to be the right tackle, Xavion Miller.
Holding. Offense. Number 72. Penalty supply. Joker plays. 4th down.
Yeah, Braden Swinson, who's made a couple plays early in this game, has really been doing that all year for LSU on 3rd down. The big Oregon transfer has just been really good off the edge. You know, the weak spot for this Auburn offensive line has been on the right side. And Miller's had his hands full time and time again. I think these matchups, if Auburn's not going to help him with the tight end or a running back, those are things that Matt House, the D coordinator from LSU, has got to feel good about, sending pressure to the right side of the offense.
Chapman's just going to boot this away. Total safe play by LSU. As in the final seconds of this first half, they're going to let it go inside the 10-yard line. Take a short break. 20-7 LSU at home.
Fries or fries and rings, BK combo, so many things. Iced or frozen drinks your way, put some choice back in your day. At BK, have it your way.
Attention Walmart shoppers, get a Walmart Plus membership plus not pay for it, because now it's included with Straight Talk Wireless. Yeah, Walmart Plus gets you free delivery, giving you time to spend with your family or people you like. And a Paramount Plus subscription included, so you can stream me. Walmart Plus even saves you money on gas. We can go on a family trip. Vegas.
Only Straight Talk Wireless gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus on select plans for free. Available at Walmart.
I still believe in heroes.
We found you.
Not as strong as you think. Where are you going?
To kill Thanos.
Avengers!
You took everything from me. Now I'm returning the favor.
She's targeting the people that I care about.
What are you prepared to do?
Give her hell.
Watch me.
The Marvels, rated PG-13, in theaters November 10th. Get tickets now.
Your first home sees a lot of firsts. From first loves to first steps. Sure, it can be a handful at times, keeping you up at night.
Come on now.
But with help from the Home Depot,
Thank you very much.
you'll find the confidence to create the first place you call your own. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
The classic Hollywood story. We meet the hero, the Nissan Frontier. Hero faces seemingly impossible challenge. Tension builds. The plot twist. The hero prevails. In Hollywood, this would be the end. But out here, we're just getting started.
The Nissan Frontier.
Desmond Howard, here to see my college football collection.
Impressive stuff, little man.
Geico makes it easy to insure. My car and RV, too.
Wow.
Gloves from your famous catch.
How'd you get those? Great smile. Is this from when the band ran on the field?
Yep, 1982.
What is this?
Oh, no, don't touch the,
Not so fast, my friends. Not so fast, my friends.
It will turn off eventually.
For all your insurance needs from home to car to RV, it's easy to Geico.
I'm Matt Berry. Coming up at the Mercedes-Benz halftime report, a wild finish in Washington, plus Brock Bowers banged up for Georgia, and Alabama escapes late. What's going to happen is I'm going to toss it back to you guys. You're going to take a knee and toss it back to me, and I'm going to kill Palmer's forehead and how it's evolved since his freshman year.
Hey, Barry, I just served that up to you like red meat for a grill, didn't I? I just put that right out there. I even said, Matt Barry needs that photo again from 96.
Listen, hair pomade, it can disguise a lot of deficiencies.
That's going to do it for this first half. That saw the LSU offense come out and do exactly what we've seen them do all year. Malik Neighbors had the 29-yard touchdown to get things going. Emery was sensational, and then had the 2-yard touchdown run, and Katie's with Coach.
Coach Kelly, you guys got up to a fast start, and then Auburn regained some kind of momentum. What do you think of your team's play in the first half?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, we got off to a better start. We hadn't gotten off to a very good start the last couple of weeks, so that was important. Yeah, we made a couple of mistakes, and they did a really good job of keeping us out of the end zone. We want to convert, obviously, when we get in the red zone and turn those into touchdowns. Defense is playing pretty good. We need to keep that up in the second half, and, this is a team that's not going to go away. It's going to be 4 quarters. We knew that coming in. We got to play a great second half.
Thank you.
Yep.
Could have been more if it wasn't for DJ James and Auburn getting the interception. 20-7 as we go to the halftime report with Matt, Joey, and Coach Mullen. Take it away, gentlemen. ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts on a beautiful night here at Death Valley, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Tiger Stadium in front of 102,000, where the home team's up 20-7 as quarterback Jayden Daniels has 178 yards passing, a passing touchdown, and has run the ball for 50 yards. Auburn is going to get the ball to start this second half. Up big defensively with an interception before halftime. Let's check in with Katie.
Yeah, Tess, Coach Freeze told me that he's searching for consistency on offense. He said, we've had open receivers, but our quarterback feels like their depth is off. Freeze said, we're also 0 for 3 on the RPO fade, so I should probably stop calling that. But he does think that they can run the ball on LSU. He said, we can still make things interesting. We just got to get going right here with this possession.
Well, they were able to run the ball against Georgia, went for 219 rushing yards against the #1 Dogs. Robbie Ashford, who's a very talented running quarterback, will start the second half for Hugh Freeze's team. And he will pull it, trying to get to the outside of that block from Frazier. Flag is down. The reality of that first half is pointing to the lack of a passing game for Auburn. It is often the case. Put themselves into a hole early, down 17-zip before they had to manage a good long drive to get on the board.
Holding, offense, number 87. 10-yard penalty from the spot to foul. First down.
On Frazier. So Peyton Thorne had 36 yards passing in that first half. Robbie Ashford had 10 yards passing. Is this the answer? Just go with Ashford in the running game?
Well, you just have to run the ball, period, right now. And this is a good rushing offense, but it's not just one guy. It's got to be Robbie Ashford, Peyton Thorne himself, Jarquez Hunter, Batty as well. It's kind of by committee. You got to give their defense credit because they sort of stopped the bleeding in the second quarter, had that huge pick to keep this thing close. You mentioned it, Joe. They should feel confident after how well they ran the ball against the Georgia Bulldogs 2 weeks ago, and I think that's got to be the key here in the second half.
Ashford cuts back to the inside and gets 5 more yards against Greg Penn, who's trying to make the tackle.
And I love that by Ashford. See, that's all you need. You don't have to break off 70-yard runs. If guys aren't open, just take off, get 5 yards, because that's going to help keep third downs a little bit more manageable, and that's been a big problem for Auburn in the first half of the season. Just way too many third and long situations, which is tough, obviously, when you can't throw the ball.
Ashford going to take a shot downfield, and high pointing that ball was Frazier. Brandon Frazier comes up big. He was matched up with Major Burns.
Well, because Ashford's in the game, LSU's thinking, well, look at all the guys they have in the box, and he fakes the handoff. It freezes everybody in the second level, and that allows the tight end Frazier to get back there, and finally there is a big contested catch. 50-50 ball that Auburn's able to come down with.
39-yard reception, and now Cobb on the jet sweep as he goes for a first down and more. Jeremiah Cobb, a true freshman, they are very high on.
Go back and take a look at this catch by Brandon Frazier, a guy who didn't have any catches coming into this game. He's working against the safety Major Burns, and that's what Peyton Thorne's trying to do. He's just trying to put the football in the vicinity of his playmakers. At some point, you got to go up and make the play, and that time Robbie Ashford, nice job giving his guy a chance.
Cobb again, as he's able to turn the corner, and he's inside the 20-yard line. Andre Sam with the tackle. So a combination of Ashford, Cobb, and then you hit the 6'7" tight end, and Hugh Freeze gets this opening drive managed by that guy, Philip Montgomery, that they're looking for.
Cobb is a true freshman running back they've used for jet sweeps and reverses. When he's in the game, bells and whistles have to go off on defense because that's how they like to use him. But you're right, Joe. It's not just going to be traditional handoffs to running backs. It's going to be quarterback runs. It's going to be jets and reverses. Just throw everything at LSU that you can in the run game.
Ashford with Perkins coming right at him. Do you see how fast Perkins can close on anybody?
And here's Perkins coming off the right-hand side. If you don't have anybody blocking him, he is just way too fast. He's so explosive. See the tight end there pulling out of the way to get to the flat, but Robbie Ashford's like, man, I got to get rid of this way before my guy's ready because we don't have anybody accounting for number 4 off the edge. He's been lining up in the slot in this game. And one of the things you can do to disguise pressure is blitz him from there, and he still has an effect on the opposing quarterback.
You cannot let him run free like that. And you got to get at least a hand on him somehow. Third down and 5. I mean, look at this guy. Harold Perkins, the All-America human missile.
And I think Robbie Ashford this time got confused because they had a running back go in motion, and Perkins kind of went out with him a little bit. He's going to go this way. Perkins goes this way. It's really the safety, though, that's covering him, and it's Perkins that's going to blitz. I think Ashford got a bit confused. He saw him kind of shuffle out, turned around and said, oh, my God, how fast did this guy get back into the backfield on 2 consecutive plays?
So with the sack, it's Alex McPherson. And you saw the interior of that defensive line. A lot of pointing among the inside of that field goal block unit and the long snapper and guard.
Offside. Defense, number 99. Entering the neutral zone and make contact with an offensive player. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Remember, it was 4th and 12.
Yeah, well, that's
4th and 12.
It's the 7th penalty for LSU, but I'll say this is an impressive first drive for Auburn. They had to get something going. If they're able to kick this field goal here, all of a sudden now you got it down to 10. Your defense playing a little bit better. Still a lot of life in the Auburn Tigers.
So McPherson from 38 yards out of the hold of Chapman. And they'll take anything they can get. Auburn was on the go, but LSU has one of the very best and most athletic, dynamic players in all of college football. Number 4, Harold Perkins. And Freeze knows that guy's a problem right there. Great seeing Tiger Stadium, watching the SEC on ESPN. Joe Tessitore, Jesse Palmer, Katie George with you. Jesse, I know you're going to be a dad soon. Let me explain the difference between sons and daughters. This does it right here. You see this wonderful young girl here on the left.
Right.
Calm, controlled, relaxed, chilling out. And then you got that.
Yeah, we got 2 boys. Look like they're on spring break. They've had about 6 Red Bulls each.
Oh. Caleb Jackson on the return. And Caleb Jackson showing exactly what he's capable of. Look at the true freshman. Big return for the local guy.
Well, they had a return set up to the left, and Auburn was all down the right-hand side, and they gave him a little bit of a crease. He was able to break a tackle from Cam Riley, a big linebacker right here that weighs 250 pounds. But again, we talked about how physical this true freshman running back is. He had a nice jet sweep earlier in the game, and here making his impact on special teams. and putting Jayden Daniels in this offense in beautiful field position.
60-yard kickoff return by Caleb Jackson. As if they don't have enough playmakers. Everywhere you look on this LSU team, on offense especially. Jayden Diggs trying to test that right side, driven back by Eugene Asante.
Another tough spot now for this Auburn defense. They've got to kind of hold the line here. That's something they've been able to do all season long. As much as the offense has struggled throwing it, even in their 2 losses, the defense kept them in the game and gave them a chance because of turnovers, because of their physicality.
2nd and 8. Diggs again. And he's just dragged down from behind by Walker.
Field goals, not touchdowns. And that's something Auburn has to keep telling themselves right here, guys. We have got to get off the field. After our offense just went down and kicked a field goal of their own, to stay in this thing, this is where we have to be at our best, in the second half when it matters most.
6.6 per carry for LSU offensively tonight. 3rd down and 2. Another opportunity down for this Auburn defense as they come to a tight formation does LSU. They go with the tap pass to Neighbors, who is able to stay on his feet and get the first down. He had an Auburn defender darting in. A flag is down, but Neighbors was able to speed past and turn the corner.
It was Eugene Asante that came flying into the backfield, just barely missed. You saw the quick feet there by Neighbors, able to get to the outside.
Illegal motion, offense, number 8. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. 3rd down.
You know, it was 17-0, Joe, and this thing seemed like it felt like it was going to be a runaway, but Auburn's made some plays, and LSU's been shooting themselves in the foot a little bit. That now their 8th penalty. See everybody kind of getting lined up there on the left side in the bunch. He was on the line of scrimmage when he went into motion. You've got to be a yard off the ball. That's fundamental day one stuff that things Malik Neighbors just shouldn't be doing.
So what would have been a first down backs him up to a 3rd and 7. Remember, it was 3rd and 2.
The guy you haven't called a lot is Brian Thomas, the big 6'4" wide receiver here at the top of the screen.
Had one of the best catches of the season a couple weeks ago against Ole Miss. 3rd down and 7. Daniels. He gets it complete for a first down as he goes right back to Neighbors.
Seems like on the critical down and distances all season long, that's where Jayden Daniels has been looking. That's a drag route trying to work through the traffic. Neighbors doing a nice job making the catch. See a very slow DJ James kind of getting off, limping. He's a key player for this secondary and a guy that Auburn cannot afford to lose.
Remember, he had the interception in the 2nd quarter that they had to have when LSU was driving. Also sealed the win against Cal. Had the game-saving interception in the end zone with under 2 minutes to play.
I mean, they need all hands on deck right now defensively. Against this offense, with all the playmakers and how explosive they are, and that quarterback, they need as many dudes on D to stay on the field, including Simpson, their ball hawk. He was really the key in that first interception. You just kind of get the feeling they need another turnover at some point here in the second half to keep sparking this thing.
Diggs made the first man miss, and then he's taken down by Larry Nixon, the transfer from North Texas. Had 8 tackles against Georgia.
He makes Justin Rogers miss. And again, that's another example of a run. It's not for a ton of yards, but it is impressive. And Rogers is 350 in the middle. He's going to get penetration. You're going to see right in front of Diggs. Just that little stutter step. Real nice.
2nd and 6. Daniels taken down. That doesn't happen often, and it was Marcus Harris, the very active defensive tackle.
Yeah, he's been their best player up front defensively. The Kansas transfer has just been living in people's backfields. Very, very slippery and hard to block. And he's a guy, too, that needs to kind of raise his play right now. Their backs against the wall in their red zone on a 3rd and 7. Can someone step up? Pass rush all year for Auburn has not been great. They have not been dynamic, especially when only rushing forward. But who can step up here?
We're down in 7 in shift protection with Williams and Taylor, the tight end. Daniels inside the 10, working his way into the end zone is Kyron Lacey. Touchdown, LSU. LSU.
That time, Auburn blocked the safety blitz. Zion Puckett, but watch Josh Williams pick this up and just stone the blitz and give Jayden Daniels an opportunity to get this off. He delivers the blow. Another really clean pocket. And there's Kyron Lacey. Easy pitch and catch.
But how about Jayden Daniels' placement as he brought in the pass protection and what he was able to see? You just brought it up. Zion Puckett was coming on that safety blitz. Daniels so in control of everything he's doing.
And I love what they do. They take their running backs and they put them up to the line of scrimmage in order to pick that up so he's not coming from depth. But another great job of progression here by Jayden Daniels, just working through. He feels so comfortable in this offense, finding Lacey for the touchdown. And right now, LSU retakes the lead.
ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts, is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes Subaru, Subaru. And Cintas. Prepare your team for what's ahead. Get Cintas and get ready for the workday.
That group right there, they're here every single week as this is Avocados from Mexico Tailgate Week. They put on such a party here at LSU. That was early morning today. Of course, it is under the lights. Death Valley just had a 5-yard touchdown catch moments ago. Mark of a fighter moment brought to you by Modelo.
Yeah, Joe, you called Harold Perkins one of the most dynamic defenders in the game. You're absolutely right. I love the way they're using him out in the slot. Something they're new trying this year. And he basically eliminates all swings, screens, bubbles, anything you see in modern spread offense because of that athleticism. But you can still get pressure by blitzing him off the edge. And if no one's going to go out and block him, he's going to get to your quarterback extremely quickly. This guy is a difference maker. And they were tinkering and changing how to use him earlier in the season, but I think they've found a home for him. First and second down, out in the slot, obvious pass situation, put him at defensive end.
Ashford, the quarterback for Auburn. Hunter can't find much.
You know, Jesse, Brian Kelly said the past Where's Waldo approach serviced Harold Perkins and not necessarily the good of the entire defense. But now having settled on a 4-down structure, he said Perkins is in a better position to succeed. The DBs are in less space, no longer tackling on an island. There's a confidence growing on that side of the ball. Kelly said it's just a shame it took us this long to get here.
Where they have gotten to is putting him in the best position with this defense. We saw that in the first half. And right now, Jarquez Hunter is wrapped up by space, and then the rest of the defense joined in.
Well, it's really great, Katie, is that with Harold Perkins on the field, I mean, this really is a 4-3 defense for LSU, which today in modern college football, it's a dinosaur. Yep. Everybody's playing with at least 5-6 DBs. They can leave Harold Perkins on the field and take advantage of how versatile he is. Even in situations like this, we say third down, they bring him in, they put him at defensive end on the end of the line of scrimmage. Now he's working against the backup offensive right tackle, Jayden Muskrat. So here he is right here. Keep your eye on that.
Peyton Thorne comes in at quarterback on 3rd and 9. Quickly gets it to Hunter. Hunter made the first man miss, but didn't have many more options beyond that. And it'll be 4th down, and they'll be punting again. Perkins and that defense doing their job. Last week, he had a big interception against Mizzou. Brady Cook had the SEC record streak with 366 passes without an interception, and then Harold Perkins picked him off.
And that was at a critical time in that game, too, right? They were down 22-10. That interception really changed the momentum. LSU scored a few plays later, and it was different after that.
Chapman punts away. Clayton, the fair catch, and Matt Berry with critical information.
Yo, Tess, it's always critical information on a college football Saturday night, including O'Mara and Hampton tying the ball game 14 apiece between Miami and North Carolina. Hurricanes with the ball, 10 seconds left. First half threatening to score. Also, Missouri has come back to take the lead on Kentucky. Brady Cook to Theo Wease Jr., 20-14 Tigers.
Last week it was 49-39. An LSU win against Mizzou. And battling with Kentucky tonight. Daniels with time and able to get it to Lacey, and Lacey breaks free. This is exactly what the LSU receivers do. Cuts back against the grain, still on his feet, and finally taken down all the way near the 10-yard line. But yards after the catch for an LSU receiver time and again.
And Joe, you get the yak because the quarterback gets it out of his hands quick. Daniels knows he's trying to fit this down the seam. Hitch, ball out now, and because he gets that, he has an opportunity to make a move or make 7 moves with it after he makes the catch. Really nice job in the open field working is Lacey for another explosive play.
He has 3 catches for 104 yards. Diggs on 1st and goal, stacked up, and then Asante's going to rip him down. Pull him back.
It's amazing, you know. It's like you come into a game. You're lucky if you have one guy on offense. Malik Neighbors, a guy that you can just look to. They're down, red zone, made a big play. I got it back. Oh, we also got Brian Thomas, though, 6'4", leads the nation with 9 touchdown catches. So defenses are worried about number 11. They're worried about number 8. And now you've got the Louisiana transfer, Kyron Lacey. Now he's making plays at 6'3" over the middle of the field. Just so many weapons for Brian Kelly and Jayden Daniels take advantage of.
45 yards after the catch on that 57-yarder by Lacey. That after he had a 25-yard touchdown. 2nd and goal. He extends the play. Scrambles his way inside the 10, inside the 5, and down to the 2-yard line, and a flag comes in at the end of the play.
I think it's going to be a block in the back on LSU down by the goal line. I think it was Logan Diggs helping out a scrambling quarterback, but illegally.
Legal block in the back. Offense, number 3. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Go down.
When you got a quarterback that can scramble and extend plays, everybody's got to stay alive, and that's a lot of running in the back end. This is a great job in coverage by Auburn, disguising it, dropping out, and now Jayden Daniels is out there, and he's just trying to create, being Houdini like he's been all season long. There's the illegal block. Start right there by Diggs on the middle linebacker, Larry Nixon. But man, you hold your breath every time Jayden Daniels has the ball in his hand. It's crazy.
That's how we open up the game, showing his greatest hits, but he's on the wrong end of those hits.
That's right.
2nd and goal, backed up to the 21, going to check down on Williams. Williams inside the 5, going for the pylon, and getting there is Josh Williams. Touchdown LSU.
And that's another phenomenal example of just the mastery Jayden Daniels has in this offense right now. Understanding where everybody is and working through his progression. Auburn showing blitz again. They're going to drop 2 linebackers out right here, but no one's there for the check down. You see Jayden Daniels is going to start this progression working to his left, not there, go to 2, not there. Where's my check down? Get it to him early, and again, when you get it to him early, there's space between the ball carrier and the defender. You saw it earlier in the drive on that catch by Lacey, and that's just Jayden Daniels playing above the X's and O's, playing with great timing. And Joe, he's been doing that throughout the entire first half of the season.
Hugh Freeze, Auburn's coach, opened up the week of game prep by turning to the media and saying, I don't think you stopped Jayden Daniels. He's too good. That was the case on that drive. 4 plays, 67 yards, getting it to Williams. And it's 34-10 all of a sudden. Hey, tomorrow it's Liberty Aces at Game 3 and WNBA Countdown. We'll get you started at 2:30 Eastern on ABC. It feels like it was just a couple minutes ago. You turn and say, hey, it's only 2010. Auburn's making enough defensive plays here and there. Brian Batty on the return. As he gets a good return out past the 30-yard line. Want to remind you, Monday Night Football is Cowboys-Chargers from SoFi. That is 8 Eastern. on ABC and ESPN and ESPN2 Monday Night Football. Flag came in late at the end of that return.
You're right, though, Joe. You blinked. It was 2010, and all of a sudden it's 34-10.
Yeah.
And Auburn's now kind of getting dangerously close to that stage in the game where you're going to have to start throwing it almost every play, and that's not good for an offense right now, only averaging 156 passing yards a game.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, receiving team, number 84. After distance to the goal, first down.
And Jesse, you think about what Auburn's offense has done against the Power 5 teams, against Cal 14 points, A&M this for 10, Georgia this for 20.
Their defense was able to keep it close and keep them in it, and LSU now is just kind of rolling. A little bit of a push there late. That was the flag. Couldn't really see that there, how egregious that was, but Auburn now backed up. And we talked about they're kind of in that mode where they got to throw, which means Peyton Thorne re-enters the game at QB, and you got to expect you'll see mostly number one here the rest of the way. The score doesn't change.
Thorne, who has 6 completions for only 40 yards. Robbie Ashford came in, was able to manage early on and start this second half. Field goal drive. Thorne back in the transfer from Michigan State. He started 26 games and put up good passing numbers, averaged 223 yards a game. That's he with the carry down to the 20-yard line.
It's interesting how the thought process for LSU's defense, and really everybody's defense, changes against Auburn when you play 2 quarterbacks. One's more of the thrower, one's more of the runner. And Ashford, even though Peyton Thorne can do it, but it just changes coverages in the back end for Matt House, and it's a lot more predictable now with Thorne back in the game.
2nd and 6. Thorne with time gets it to the near side, gets it complete, and it does go for a first down as a flag comes in at the end as he connects with Malcolm Johnson Jr.
Katie was telling us earlier that she had heard Hugh Freeze saying in a conversation with Peyton Thorne that receivers weren't getting their depth. He did there.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 15. 15 yards will be added to the end of the play. First down.
Sage Ryan.
Yeah, that's an easy tug. It's an easy call to make, and that's really the first really good-looking throw and catch to the perimeter of the field. It wasn't an RPO. It was just a straight drop where receiver ran a nice route, came back to the football, and that was the timing that you just haven't seen so much from Auburn early this year. Something they got to get better at.
Betsy wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. It was Greg Penn with the tackle there. Guy from DeMatha Catholic. Remember we brought up the dismal stat of the Auburn passing game. Struggles 6 straight games. They just snapped the streak. Fewer than 100 passing yards against Power 5 teams. They have 102 passing.
You got to start somewhere. You got to start somewhere. Many building blocks in this whole thing. You got to start somewhere. You got to find positives where you can get it.
Listen, there could be a lot of positives in the future years of what Hugh Freeze is doing, but right now need to get out of this hole, and they do so here with Jay Fair.
Yeah.
Concentrated, focused, and was able to haul it in.
And that is a tight window to throw that into. Fair's only 5'10", 186. He's running a seam route. Peyton Thorne's got to fit this thing into a small window. He looks off the safety. It's in between the safety and the corner. Zion Alexander actually makes a little bit of contact right as that ball gets there. Nice job closing in on it, but nice tough catch. Contested catch. One of the things, again, these Auburn receivers just haven't been able to come up with when they've had the opportunities.
So a 32-yard reception for Jay Fair. Thorne on first down. He's going to run it to the outside and then pushed out of bounds. As Omar Space was tracking him.
Now, we talked how Peyton Thorne at times this year has just hesitated to let it go. He just doesn't trust the wide receivers. That time they're faking a screen down here. They're going to have the tight end breaking on an in route. If he throws this now, right there, I think that's a completion, and who knows, he might score, but just because he doesn't have the confidence in his guys and the conviction right now, it's been one of the things that has really killed this passing attack this season.
Second and 8. Thorne, pocket collapsing, shallow cross as he goes to Burton. And Burton is driven out near the 15-yard line.
It's hard throwing out in the field. It's even harder throwing it down here in the red zone, though, Joe, because the windows get so much smaller, and timing has to be exact. Oftentimes, as a quarterback, you got to be able to anticipate and throw the football and get rid of it before your guy's even looking at you down the field. You only get that trust through reps in practice and reps in games, and it's something that Peyton Thorne and these receivers just don't have a lot of that yet.
3rd and 4. Man rush. That was high into the outside to Fairweather, who was right at the stick.
That's good timing. It's just a bad throw. They've got their tight end Fairweather, who's 6'4", 250 pounds outside with a hitch. That's just a ball that Peyton Thorne's got to put on his body. He's running a simple curl to the right. Look, put the foot in the ground. Now you put it on his shoulder. Outside, just too high and hard. And that's just the throw you got to be able to make in your sleep.
Here's 4th down. Thorne on 4th down, able to get it complete to Fairweather this time, and it's a 1st and goal for Auburn.
There's the execution. There's the throw. Philip Montgomery goes right back to the exact same play, trusting his quarterback this time to get it executed. On time, throws it before Fairweather turns around. It's an accurate ball, and that converts the 1st.
Hunter straight ahead as he reaches forward to the 3-yard line. And that'll bring us to the end of this 3rd quarter.
And that was a throw they had to make, too. I mean, you feel like it's do or die time for Auburn in this game on this drive. Have to come away with 7. Their defense is going to have to come up with some stops here in the 4th quarter.
4th quarter coming up. Auburn knocking on the door, trying to cut into this big LSU lead up here in beautiful Baton Rouge.
Coach Kelly, what do you need to see from your defense to get this stop here?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're battling. You know, they've hit a couple of, you know, we got a 15-yard penalty on a face mask. The guys are playing hard. They're battling. They're a good offense. And, you know, we got 1 quarter here. We got to keep playing.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Start of the 4th quarter here at Tiger Stadium. Joe, Jesse, and Katie. As Robbie Ashford in the game on 2nd and goal. Ashford goes underneath, and spinning into the end zone is Brandon Frazier. Frazier had a big reception earlier and now opens up the 4th quarter with a 3-yard touchdown catch.
It's a nice job by Frazier, kind of working through a lot of traffic. You got space, you got a Gofu coming off the right-hand side, and Frazier just kind of finds his way in. There's one here, there's one out here, and he just kind of weaseled through right in the middle, and then makes a guy miss at the end line. Right there, he just kind of threads the needle. He's able to use a nice little spin move. Good throw by Ashford. And that's a score that Auburn needed so badly. It looks like here they're going for 2, Joe.
18-point gap right now. Trying to get it to 16. Play clock is under 5, though. Hugh says, hurry up. Let's get this thing going, Robbie. Ashford, 2-point conversion attempt. And goes to the end zone to Frazier again.
Harold Perkins absolutely came off of a block and destroyed the true freshman Jeremiah Cobb in the flat. That's really where Ashford wanted to go with it, but he was able to find the guy in the end zone. Watch out here. Perkins on the right side right now. That's the receiver. He's not anymore, but great job by Ashford keeping the play alive. And now it's a 2-possession game. Hugh Freeze loves it.
Hey, SEC football final. Daring the guys get you all set. Coming up after Mizzou, Kentucky on the SEC Network. Tennessee beat A&M today. Alabama had a bit of a second-half struggle with Arkansas.
I'll tell you what, though, teams get better and teams get worse throughout the year, and Alabama's gotten better since putting Jalen Milroe back in at quarterback. These last couple weeks, vertical passing game showing up. And that game against Tennessee next week now is a monster.
Hey, what's up, Matt Barry?
Guys, I've got some entertaining updates for you. Perhaps a little bit of a surprise. MJ Devonshire from Pitt. Pick 6 of Jack Plum. Remember, Louisville, the big win last week against Notre Dame. They go into Pittsburgh and they're getting beat 31-21. Also, USC not quite done yet. Marshawn Lloyd takes it in from 30 yards out on the option look. This one, 24-13 Notre Dame.
Needs to take Jack Harlow on the road. That's the problem.
Well, you know, you got to be able to handle success and not look forward to games against Duke and Miami and Kentucky down the road. You got to handle business right in front of you. Pittsburgh giving them all they want.
I'm sure it's exactly what the week was like for Louisville. Every conversation was all about last Saturday against Notre Dame, last Saturday the atmosphere, the big signature win.
And how emotionally and physically draining that game was. So now you've got to get 18 to 22-year-olds refocused on the task at hand against a very physical mid defense. Not easy to do in the world of college football.
Jayden Daniels, 3 touchdown passes tonight. 2-possession lead for the home team. Second and 5 after Diggs took it ahead. Daniels runs ahead for another first down, then turns upfield. He is so equipped as a runner.
You wonder what's going on with Jayden Daniels' NFL stock, considering how well he's played through the first half of the season. That shocks me.
What is that?
But at this point, he's only number 9. I'd argue you could easily make the case that he'd be the 3rd quarterback off the board after Caleb Williams and Drake. He'd probably go in the top 5 picks. Not taking anything away from Sanders, Penix Jr., Bo Nix, J.J. McCarthy, Riley Leonard, Quinn Ewers. But if you've watched Jayden Daniels play through 6 games and this one, you can't tell me all those other guys are getting drafted ahead of him.
Listen, if you watched him a year ago, you'd say, okay, he's productive, but he's got a slight build. Now he's put on 15 pounds, and he's showing you he's durable with the way he's playing.
But Joe, to me, it's even beyond the physical talents and his throwing ability and running ability. It's all the intangible qualities I think he has. He's a great leader, poised, and he's shown that throughout his career, even when he was at Arizona State. He's got competitive fire, leadership, and he puts the team on his back. Their defense has not been good this year. They're still alive in the SEC race because of Jayden Daniels.
2nd and 6. As he drives the ball so accurate to Kyron Lacey, and all the coaches will tell you he has committed to get better from the offseason right through the season.
And he's consistently good. I mean, look at these numbers. First SEC player with 3 passing touchdowns and 50 rushing yards, 3 straight games. He's 1 touchdown away, Joe, from having his 6th straight game with at least 4 touchdowns accounted for. It's a score record. Joe Burrow played here.
Right.
I mean, it's ridiculous what he's doing. He's doing it week in, week out, playing at such a consistently high level. I realize there's a lot of NFL scouts and a lot of guys that don't get to watch all the games right now. But if you watch LSU, every game they've played, there's no way that guy's, at least in my opinion, not the big QB off the board.
Neighbors able to shake free and get inside the 30-yard line on the tap passes. Sansi tap pass.
Yeah, they're going to need him down the stretch, too. I mean, they're alive, obviously. A couple weeks from now is the big one against Alabama. We're getting 3 straight home games at the end of the year, which is huge. Big ones against Texas A&M and Florida. Week in, week out, man. Jayden Daniels has played well, and you know they need him healthy. They need him to continually play at his A level.
Quarterback run.
There you go.
Oh, Mike Denbrock is saying that's what we're looking at. Flag comes down. Mike Denbrock is saying, Jayden, you can slide. You can slide.
The drills work. Take care of yourself. They need this guy to make this run.
Holding. Offense. Number 53. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
True freshman Lance Hurd, who had to come in the game when Emory Jones left injured in the 1st quarter.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen with Emory Jones down the stretch, but they're going to need a true freshman, number 53 at the right tackle spot, to play big for them. We talked about who they've got coming up. You see right there, Emory Jones on the sideline. He's been so good early this year for LSU, and that big game looming against Dallas Turner in Alabama. They're going to need this true freshman right tackle, Lance Hurd, to keep getting better week in and week out.
We're having a delay here. Security has to handle a very well-hydrated participant of the crowd.
We talk about Jayden Daniels, too. You got to remember, he's making his 50th start in college football today, all right? He's played a lot of football, and he knows how to work progressions. He understands passing scheme. Gets to his 4th receiver there, Neighbors, on the in route. This time, gets to his 3rd. It's Lacey on the dig. This one again, dropping back. First guy not there, second guy not there. There's Lacey again on the dig for a score. And then we just saw recently the check down. Not open, third progression, getting it out early. This guy's played a lot of football. He feels very comfortable with everything Mike Denbrock is dialing up. And he just never seems fooled by what the defense throws at him. And even when he does, he knows he has the God-given ability to get out of dodge and get out of trouble because of his running ability. He's always got an ace up his sleeve. It's been really fun to watch him play.
Second and 12. Offensive line did their job, and then Daniels does his job, and then Malik Neighbors turns the corner, and again, what he is capable with the ball in his hand.
Man, he is so sudden, Joe, with his cuts, coming back to the football. First job, great job here, putting his foot in the ground, coming back to the ball, down the stem, and now it's just God-given ability after the catch. He just gets himself open. He's dangerous, and that's why he was second in the nation in receiving yards coming into this one.
22 there, 12 of it after the catch. First down, LSU. Diggs can't get anywhere.
You know, the funny thing, too, with Jayden Daniels, you've seen it through the progressions in this game. I think the eternal dilemma he's always going to have in his football career is, do you stay in the pocket? Do you let routes down the field develop? Give them a chance, or do you just take off running whenever you have the opportunity? For Mike Denbrock, they're constantly working on that with him, but at the same time, you don't want to take away what makes him great and special, and that's his legs. So you're towing a very fine line. But I think that's probably the biggest place Jayden Daniels has made strides this year. Staying in the pocket, giving plays an opportunity, down the field, throwing it. You've seen it in this game.
Daniels directing things with Mason Taylor as well as his back in protection. Then they're going to call a timeout with 10:05 remaining. We'll take a quick break and come right back to Tiger Stadium with the LSU Tigers looking for more.
The number 3 painted on the field tonight at Tiger Stadium honors LSU captain Greg Brooks, who was recently diagnosed with a rare form of brain cancer. Brooks had surgery to remove a brain mass last month. He has since been transferred to St. Jude's Research Hospital in Memphis to prepare for a second surgery. This next surgery should put him in a position to start cancer treatments. Brian Kelly says it's likely a long road ahead, but the support from the LSU community and the college football community across the country has been nothing short of amazing. To help the Brooks family with Greg's medical care, search for the Greg Brooks Victory Fund or visit lsusports.net. Tess?
I encourage everybody to do that. Jesse, I'm going to join in with that outpouring of support.
I am too. Just
Greg Brooks.
Thoughts and prayers go out to Greg Brooks and his family.
It's a second down. Jayden Daniels keeps it, and Daniels is inside the 10. You know, when we did this game a year ago, it was Greg Brooks who had one of the very big moments at Auburn. Had a late interception. It sealed the win, but it was about the fight that he showed on that interception. He ripped out of the hands of Boy Moore with 2 minutes to play with pure desire to fight. And we know he's going to have that similar fight with what he's dealing with right now. Diggs takes it ahead for a first down. Here's what happened a year ago. Greg Brooks Jr., team captain, starting safety. Look at this play he makes. He says, that's mine. And that helped seal the win. And now Greg Brooks in our thoughts and in our prayers in the midst of this cancer battle at St. Jude's in Memphis. And we want to thank all those in the medical team who's helping Greg and supporting him in his fight. First and goal for Greg Brooks' team. Diggs powers his way into the end zone.
Well, he gives you more than what you blocked for. How would you like to be Larry Nixon, the middle linebacker here? Not only are you going to get a center, but then you're going to get a 225-pound running back right in your chest at the point of attack. That's 325 pounds, an extra 225 pounds. Just not a lot you can do in that situation.
This offense continues to roll. Diggs is closing in on nearly 100 yards. You see 97 touchdown run there. Lace has got over 100 receiving. Daniels got over 300 passing. And LSU's up 41-18 here at home.
ESPN College Football Primetime is presented by IHG Hotels and Resorts. 18 hotel brands, one loyalty program. Download the app. And in part by Burger King.
LSU has 515 total yards of offense. There's still 8:51 to play here. Up 41-18 at home. Hunter on the return. As he gets it out past the 25. Cuts back, tries to reverse field. And has to fight his way back. Speaking of fighting, this is a really good top-ranked boxing coming up after college football. As we've got middleweight title unification. That is Keyshawn Davis, by the way. He's going to open the show. He's got one of the most dynamic personalities in the sport, the U.S. Olympian. But that guy right there, Janibek Alapanana, a power puncher, destructive power, offensive-minded, is putting his middleweight title on the line against Vincenzo Gualtieri, who has the IBF title. So you got two belt holders coming up in a middleweight title unification on Top-Ranked Boxing.
Where's Janibek from?
He's from Kazakhstan, the same as Triple G.
First off, the fact that you were able to pronounce that last name as well as you did is exciting. And two, I love hearing your energy when you talk boxing. It's like SEC college football. Like you just go to another level.
Those are my two, man. I mean, you just hit on it right there.
That's like a good Super Soccer.
Yeah, don't get me started. Peyton Thorne on first down. As he goes downfield, incomplete. And then, 2 weeks from today are the big boys, right? Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou.
They're fighting in Saudi Arabia.
Fighting in Riyadh. Imagine those two guys in the ring together.
No, it's going to be amazing. This is a nice play here on the outside by Sage Ryan, doing a great job breaking that play up. He's provided some stability now. These last two games, as much as the secondary has struggled in the back end, you got to kind of like what you've seen from number 15.
Roughing the passer, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
The roughing the passer at the end of that play is Thorne.
I think Brian Kelly is going to be happy with most of what happened. Parashand right here late. Not egregious necessarily, but a bit late. I think the penalties is going to be the thing. I think Brian Kelly's going to have to get cleaned up. Remember, their last three games have been an adventure, right? They've gone right down to the wire. Arkansas, Ole Miss, Missouri. 12 penalties for 100 yards for LSU today.
Cut down by Perkins is Hunter. Ball is out. And is able to land on it right there was Muskrat.
It was Greg Penn that was ripping that one out late. But, in games down the stretch, especially in a couple of weeks at Alabama, they're going to have to play as clean as they've played all year long. Offense, defense, special teams. You have to limit the mental mistakes and the penalties if they're going to be able to go back-to-back against the Crimson Tide early in Brian Kelly's tenure here as head coach.
Second down throw right on the fingertips of Jay Fair. Bring up the schedule, LSU. Here's the way things look.
Yep, so they're going to have Army next. Triple option, always tough, but this is the one everybody circles at the start of the year. Of course, they won in dramatic fashion here at Tiger Stadium last year. And then you finish up against Florida and Texas A&M here at home.
That was Jefferson again batting down the pass of Peyton Thorne.
If you're LSU, it's all about just getting better week in, week out. And obviously the secondary that's been a problem for them wasn't really tested here tonight. They will be down the stretch, but I'll tell you, you keep winning. You need Ole Miss to lose one more in conference. They've still got to play the Georgia Bulldogs, by the way, and Texas A&M. They've got some big games themselves, but LSU, just keep doing what you need to do, and there's a good chance things take care of themselves.
Here's a 4th down and 5 for Auburn. Thorne against a 4-man rush that closes on him as he looks to extend the play. He's going to try to get to the stick. He could not keep his balance as he was looking to tiptoe and shuffle ahead. So it'll be a turnover on downs.
Well, it was Harold Perkins in the speed coming off the left side there, working against the left tackle Dylan Wade. He wasn't able to get to the quarterback, but as soon as he was flushed out left, there are very few quarterbacks in the country that are going to beat Harold Perkins in a foot race. As soon as he went left, nice job by Smith, Mason Smith, forcing him that way, and Perkins just gets to him before he can get to the stick. Harold Perkins just keeps getting better and better and more comfortable in this scheme defensively. We've always known he's a dynamic pass rusher, but playing out in space and getting more comfortable dropping in zone coverage, he's really elevating his game week in, week out. Now that they found this niche for him, well, today really is about as good as this defense has looked all year. We've seen it twice now in person, Joe, against Mississippi State earlier in the season. Probably their 2 best games defensively in conference.
Nice job by Matt House, the coordinator. Emery will take the handoff here. And Emery goes for a 1st down. College football rankings, Jesse, are brought to you by AT&T 5G.
Yeah, Georgia kind of got out early, and then the injury to Brock Bowers all of a sudden gives you a pause and cause for concern. They were able to hold on against Vanderbilt. Michigan blew out Indiana. Ohio State, Purdue, and then Florida State looked good with Keon Coleman had a massive day catching the ball. I can't wait for next week, though. Is it Michigan, Penn State?
Yeah.
Is that next week?
It's interesting.
It's Ohio State, Penn State next week.
Right. When you look at that list and you say, well, who has the signature wins? Who has the Michigan's schedule has been panned. But, you look at Oklahoma and you look at Washington now.
Yeah.
And you think about resume, as John Emery thinks about adding to this lead. He just darts ahead for another 1st down.
I think Florida State, too, beating LSU in a neutral site early, then going to Clemson and winning in overtime at this point in terms of the resume. It's been really, really impressive.
See, but that's exactly why I always long for the college football playoff, which always feels like a release of things, rather than this AP poll mentality. Where your placement preseason, like how do you really grade out a team like Oklahoma if you're going to have to, if you really want to sit back and say, okay, let's start with a clean slate. And that is Emery. He's banged up just a bit. Josh Williams is now the running back. He makes his way to the 15-yard line. Perkins and those linebackers. Perkins has some wild plays. He's had so many wild plays in his career. Had the jaw-dropping game against Arkansas last year. 4 sacks. Had the game against Bryce Young in Bama when he had a sack and 3 quarterback hurries and 8 total tackles. And they moved him around a lot this year. It's been one of the central themes of analyzing LSU, but now they got him in the spot they want with the structure of the defense they like. Daniels, smart to cut back as he gets to the 10-yard line. Next Saturday, we will see how this Auburn team looks back at home. And again, they face a powerful, high-scoring, fast offense, number 13 Ole Miss. That is the primetime game on ESPN.
Dylan Gabriel Bowl, UCF versus Oklahoma. That'll be
fun. Boy, he was awesome last week.
He really was. I know that was a statement performance and a statement game for them. And Brent Venables. He's just done a phenomenal job there in his 2nd year as head coach.
Marking him a yard short. Noah Kane comes into the game. First we've seen him at running back. And he will take it ahead for a 1st down for LSU.
You know, the unsung heroes of this LSU offense. Funny, we talk so much about Jayden Daniels and Malik Neighbors and Logan Diggs. This offensive line note in the first half of the season.
Yes.
Coming into this game, all 5 guys started all 6 games. First time that it happened since 2013. Their run blocking and pass protection has the reason why these skilled players are able to go off each and every week, and why this offense is averaging 45 points a game, tops in the SEC. That might change now, though, because of the injury to Emory Jones, and Lance Hurd, a true freshman. You see him there, number 53, replacing that guy, Emory Jones, at a critical juncture in the season, just weeks away from the big showdown in Tuscaloosa.
Daniels on the RPO, gets it to Taylor, and Taylor reaches his way inside the 2-yard line. Mason Taylor.
He's another guy, Joe, too.
Yep.
I mean, he's a freak show, playing out of tight end. He's 6'6", 255 pounds, who's seeing his role expand in Mike Denbrock's offense. In recent weeks, they're letting out wide receiver now. They're just letting him run the route tree. And so you're focused on Malik Neighbors and Kyron Lacey and Brian Thomas. And yet there's another guy that you got to worry about. Not so surprising, he's as good of an athlete as he is, considering who his dad is, right?
His dad, of course, the Hall of Famer Jason Taylor. His uncle Zach Thomas.
It's a pretty good lineage.
Second and goal, Williams in for the touchdown. Hugh Freeze knew that they couldn't get into this kind of a pace of the game.
It was tough, hard running. I don't know if the knee looked like it may have been down before he crossed the goal line. Look here, Joe. See that
breaks the plane right there.
He's break the plane at the same time.
Does indeed. So the 1-yard touchdown run by Josh Williams.
Was this thing 20-10? Like
it was
3 minutes ago.
This was 20-10. But that guy's pretty good, and this offense is loaded with talent. 30-point margin. The Golden Band from Tigerland. They've had a lot to play about tonight. We have LSU scoring 40 points. That touchdown run moments ago. They run for 238 yards. Williams just brought it in. Good night in the SEC throughout the league. And then you got top-ranked boxing coming up in just moments. Dynamic Olympian Keyshawn Davis will be in the ring right away. That's he on the return from the end zone. And now a quick word from Verbo.
We're here live in the family room of this Verbo vacation home. It's a house divided for this rematch between bitter rivals. Man, it's a good thing Verbo gives you the whole house, so there's plenty of space to go around. Back to you.
LSU's been in complete control in this second half. We got Army here next week, then the annual bye week before Alabama in T-Town. Jeremiah Cobb getting a push from the offensive line. How do you build on things for Auburn?
Well, I mean, there were some bright spots in the passing game that needed to happen. I think you build on that if you're Hugh Freeze. Look, this is a program and team that needs to get to a bowl. They're going to drop to 3-3, but they've got a lot of young guys playing in new schemes that need the extra practices in the offseason to build towards next year, and they're going to have to find 3 more wins, but not a lot of gimmies on the schedule necessarily.
Peyton Thorne pulled it, put it downfield, but way off the mark of Nick Marner.
They get Ole Miss at home next week. There's a little stretch against Vandy, Arkansas, New Mexico State before ending up in the Iron Bowl against Alabama. So, you know, it's all about going back to the drawing board, and it's about focusing on the positives in today's game, playing against a good LSU team on the road in this hostile environment. But they're going to have to continue to take steps forward, especially on offense throwing the ball.
Cobb straight ahead. 2 weeks ago, they took Georgia to the limit. Georgia needed Brock Bowers, the All-American tight end, to really carry them late in that game. Had the 40-yard touchdown pass with under 3 minutes to play to get the win against Auburn. Now, Bowers himself may be out for some extended time. Does that change the way you think about Georgia?
Oh, absolutely. Because you're talking about arguably the best player in college football, regardless of position, in Brock Bowers and what he's able to do to change the game. Ask Auburn about that in the fourth quarter, as you just mentioned.
3rd and 7 for Thorne, looking to extend the play. He's going to tuck and try to run for that line to gain, which he will get. Right in front of the Weeks brothers. West.
But Georgia doesn't look like the same dominant Georgia we've seen the last 2 years that have won national championships. And so, how does that affect Carson Beck at quarterback? How does that affect Mike Bobo calling plays if number 19 isn't on the field for the Georgia team?
Cobb out to midfield. He's the true freshman. They like the way he catches the ball in the backfield. And we saw some of that earlier today. This game opened up with Jayden Daniels hitting his stride early. That never really stopped. Cobb continues to get some extended work here in the closing minutes, but it was a 17-0 lead for LSU. Auburn settled down, was able to run the ball a bit. Hunter had the touchdown, came up with a few defensive plays, and managing things very early in the 3rd quarter, had it at 20-10. And then Daniels, big plays. Kyron Lacey, big drive. Josh Williams with a run. Frazier with a touchdown catch. And they're that talented, and they have that level of playmaking ability where all of a sudden LSU can rip off 21, 28 points.
Yeah,
just like that.
And it makes you believe that they can win every game they play, because they could win shootouts week in, week out with all those playmakers they have on offense. And the good news, Brian Kelly talked about it earlier with Katie, is they just got off to a good start in this one, something they haven't been able to do in their last 3 games.
Daniels with 325 yards and 3 touchdowns. Kyron Lacey 111 yards and a touchdown. Remember, you got a big-time middleweight title fight coming up on Top Rank Boxing between Jayden and Vincenzo Gualtieri and the U.S. Olympian Keyshawn Davis in action. LSU 48-18. Jayden Daniels trying to keep his name in the Heisman race. Wrap things up from here. Matt Cruz gets you back to Matt Perry.
Guys, thank you. Another impressive win for LSU. And
save on the price. Come see me today, Toyota Slido.